Which game is
I
that?
thought that's the version of Shredder you like.
Oh, that's Anniversary.
Yeah,
Hey,
I thought
Rob,
that was.
I was lucky. Because I worked in video game retail, I got a promo disc, man. I didn't even have to pay for it.
Oh,
Full game
oh,
on my TV,
shit,
baby.
that's
I hate
pretty
when
cool
I hate.
looking.
Why do you just have that on hand?
That's
That's
pretty
my
cool.
problem.
That
Yeah, I can
PS2
get it.
though?
Yeah.
That-
Like literally, Clark reached over into like the void.
I
and
know.
grabbed it, like, I was like,
I
what
was-
the fuck?
But that's a trap.
No,
PS2
I
was
was
trash.
I was going to upload a new soundtrack. But,
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was a CD.
It was just Among Them.
But
Sure it was.
didn't that game run? Didn't that game
That
run?
timing was impeccable, bro.
Wasn't it trash on PS2?
crazy.
I want to
Yeah,
upload. I
that's
want to
incredible.
upload this, but I'm scared Nintendo will take me down.
But anyway,
PS2?
what's
Yeah, they'll do it for music. Well, that's more.
No. It's
I don't
an
know.
Astral Chain soundtrack.
I would
The
think.
one that
Well, they do own the IP. Fuck.
Sure.
They might.
I
I
don't-
wouldn't.
I don't-
I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't risk it.
But anyway, what's up, everybody? we had some
Shut up,
conversations. We had some conversations going before the podcast. We're gonna have to hold some of that till we get into the main topic. We're gonna talk about the launch console library or the launch lineups for both consoles. Some more info came out. PS5 reviews started coming out. We've seen comparisons with backwards compatibility, load times, just a lot of stuff coming out for the next gen, and you got game reviews finally hitting for like Assassin's Creed and Miles Morales and stuff. So lots of that stuff to talk about. There isn't really, I don't think Nintendo. Well, they announced the Switch surpassed the NES, I believe, last week.
Yeah, the sale figures started coming out.
But which
better.
console's better?
It's better than the NES now, son.
I mean, it'll be better than the
The
Wii. soon.
PlayStation 4 is better. Come on, guys. Jeez.
Super Mario Bros. 3 is better than new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Yeah, that's right.
I would say we used to kind of, back when I was less of a hater, I guess, we used to kind of go over the sales, and it was exciting because
First of all,
after
Juice, you were
Less
always
of
a
a hater?
hater. I was like, you were always a hater.
I was on that
Don't
Switch
get it twisted.
hype train all of 2017.
For like a month.
all of 2017.
Oh man, give more than that.
No,
Half-
I'm not getting
It was running longer than that.
But I will
No
say
way. 32 days.
the best thing from that was that
Yeah.
it looks like a new game will be the highest selling Switch game. Well, I guess the Black Friday bundle's probably going to put a damper on
They'll
that.
push
but
it away a
Animal
little bit.
Crossing's
Yeah.
real
That's
close
a good
now.
ass bundle though. You can't
Slow
you can't
down,
be
bro.
mad
Slow
about
down.
it.
For that, make that declaration.
But I think it's going to happen. And then there was some
Hopefully.
actual good games, hit some milestone, some new games, I should say. Hit some decent numbers. I didn't mean good. I just meant new games, not ports. And
Okay.
so Xenoblade Chronicles 2, what was it, over 2 million?
All stars.
Yeah, so
games,
I was so happy to see that. I was like, let's go.
I was
That's
very happy to
great.
see that.
Super
Even though it's not one of my
cool.
favorite. It's not my
But
favorite.
the
I was
worst
so happy to see it.
Xenoblade getting those numbers. I don't get it.
Eat a dick. Eat a dick.
Look what console is on, man. You know,
Xenoblade
so-
Definitive
It's the
Edition.
better game. Fuck you.
What was definitive Xenoblade
No.
Chronicles Definitive? What is that? 1.2 or something already?
Yeah, it's like
That was pretty good. I'm happy about big time.
That's impressive.
It feels
I'm
like
glad.
though,
I'm glad
that's all
Xenoblade has
smash.
become. I'm glad
That's all
Xenoblade
smash.
is kind of making its rise up here. I appreciate
It is making its rise. I'm
No,
happy too.
I'm
because,
almost-
I love it.
I'd almost guarantee now X is coming next year.
Probably.
But
I ain't buying it.
I'm about to say, I thought y'all didn't
I mean,
want
I
it
won't
anyway.
buy it, but
I didn't want it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
great
saying
for
that
people who
with
can.
these sales, unless Monolith's next game's gonna be ready. But
Metro
know,
will buy it.
it's a funny thing because we had a little bit of discussion. We'll talk about the PlayStation controller, battery life, and stuff later. But I was thinking about one of the games that really, I can't remember. I probably had the expandable battery pack by that point in the gamepad. But one of the things about Xenoblade Chronicles X, when I was just trying to think about remembering, reminiscing about those days, that was one of the worst, if not the worst, game to play off TV on the gamepad. Just to not have your TV on, have the football game on or whatever, and to try to play that game on the
You couldn't
gamepad
read the
screen.
text?
Yeah, you couldn't
Too
read the
tiny.
fucking text, and then you had to swap back into the map, and then you couldn't pause the game. So to go to the map to do what you needed to do, you come back and you're being attacked by damn tyrant or something, you know.
That's
and
why
it
the
was-
game was trash.
It was just really, and then the menu system for your like equipping all the gear. You talk about tiny text; it was even smaller once you got into the menu. So that was definitely the worst Wii U game. And you know, what did they call it? Off TV play. So I'm curious what they would do to fix or alleviate some of that with the Switch version.
There's one thing in that game people take for granted that you just mentioned is, you know, not having to play that game on a single screen. And the game is beautiful because you jump in your mech, you can put it in auto run, and then look at your map and decide where you want to do your map as and you can see yourself, driving or whatever direction
Yeah,
you
you
want to
can
go
see
to.
in the
And
direction you're heading.
you can't do that now, you know.
So yeah, I think that one would be interesting to see what kind of solutions they would come up with. Like Pikmin 3, I didn't enjoy the map on the screen with Pikmin 3. The way it, dragging to go over if the map was pretty big in the area and to try to get to the side you wanted to, it was a little bit cumbersome. I never did enjoy that map system on the Wii U version. But
I did.
Xenoblade, like that's just, they got some hurdles. It's definitely going to be the inferior version, I think, no matter what they do. But anyway, that was off topic. But yeah, some of the other sales, 3D All Stars.
I have them up.
Was that
okay,
5.4 or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want the updated list for them? Because they put out the full updated list for most of them.
Just
the
the
notable
notable
our
ones.
accountant. He always goes over the numbers and shit.
Well, I like going over the
Just the
numbers.
notable ones. Let's not go down the whole list.
It is fun, yo. It is
He
fun.
he likes his numbers.
Did they have Mario Maker
like
2
my-
on there? I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah. Mario Maker 2
That's-
is at. Where was it?
Because that
At
was
this
that
little-
wasn't in the last update that they
You got
did.
one
Why-
job, Terrell. One job.
I didn't
It put
see
it in the. You know what makes me mad?
Fucking it up.
They put it in the fucking the title of the damn article. Oh, never mind. It's at 5.89. I'm sorry. It's at
Really?
5.89.
What's that? 5.8?
Mario Maker 2.
Mario
Yeah, because that skipped the
Uh,
last update. they
Link's
did.
Awakening is almost at 5 million. It's at 4.57.
I feel Mario Maker could have been a lot higher if they fucking kept.
It should have
supporting
been.
that shit.
Link's Awakening, the mainline
I'm
Zelda.
gonna, I am gonna mention the one that makes everybody mad. I'm gonna mention the one that makes
Well, there's
everyone
multiple
mad.
ones. 1-2 switches.
Well, no. This is the one that offends everybody. 1-2 switches at 3.31 million.
I honestly thought it was higher than that.
I'm one of those
I
people.
thought it was higher. Yeah, I thought it was higher.
But
But
it's
still,
funny
3
'cause
million for that game. Come on.
the irony
At
is that
$50.
it's outsold Mario Tennis Aces and Kirby, which are at 3.29
That,
million, and Kirby's at 3.15.
And Donkey Kong was at like 2.
good.
That I don't really care about.
Donkey Kong is at 2. Donkey Kong is at 2.93 million.
See, I wonder if
I'm kind
I'm-
of surprised Kirby is at.
You know why? The only reason why I'm mad at all these because Arms is sitting at like 2.47, and I'm like,
And it's not moving.
but that's another
I'm
game
mad
they
'cause they-
didn't. You know, you
I
can't
mean,
update a game forever, but
Arms is like.
I mean, to be fair, to give
You
it
could have
credit,
added some cool stuff. I can think of some
That's
cool
not
things.
that's
you
not
could
a
add.
bad that's not bad
No,
sales numbers for a new
No.
IP.
No.
It's,
Oh,
it's
it's
just
brilliant.
you know
We all feel like it should be better than that. That's
so what do you guys think? It's no way to prove this, but Donkey Kong Country Returns did like 6 million on the Wii, and then they
it didn't
put
fucking deserve
Tropical
it, though.
Freeze on the Wii U, and it was what 1 to 2. I can't remember what it did on the Wii U, and then they put out on
It's like
Switch.
1 It's like 1.2 or something like that.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not at 3 million yet on this hugely popular system. I wonder what
it'll get to.
I wonder if a new iteration, a sequel to Tropical Freeze
Oh,
without
what
Tropical Freeze
No.
would have done the same or more.
Or just Tropical Freeze with, I don't know, Donkey Kong Country Returns thrown in there.
Or at at a lower
Yeah,
price,
for
it
that
probably would
price.
do better. But
Yeah.
do you think a sequel would?
I would have bought it.
I kind of feel like a sequel would have done about the same as Tropical Freeze. Yeah,
Well, a sequel is going to do better than any other of these ports, regardless. Just
course.
because you would have had that audience plus us,
yeah.
and everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's your
regardless,
hardcore.
that's extra. That's already
true.
got extra.
Because Mario Maker
All
2 is almost at 6 million, and the first game was at high 4 millions, mid to
Yeah.
high. So it it did better than the Wii U version.
I'm trying to think of some other.
It would have done
notable ones.
better, even better.
I don't remember. What was the last thing we heard about Octopath Traveler, sales wise? I don't remember.
$1.5
It's been so
million,
long.
I think.
Yeah,
Okay, so apparently they specifically put in parentheses Octopath Traveler (parentheses outside Japan) 1.68 million, which
Outside
I
Japan.
don't know.
That's because they
Yeah,
they don't publish it in Japan, so they wouldn't list the sales.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that why?
Did that only go to PC?
Yeah.
No,
Oh
that
yeah,
was
that's right. They don't publish it in Japan.
Stadia. It's on Stadia. Clocked it.
Oh man.
And I got some thoughts on Stadia, but
And PC.
I guess. I don't know why they would say outside Japan for only that game, but I guess.
well, why don't you tell us the
Well,
Mario
they're saying it
Kart?
because it's not published in Japan by Nintendo. That's
No,
why.
they don't.
Oh, is it not?
Luigi
No,
Mansion
Square.
No, it's
3 was
not.
great. Luigi's
Luigi's
Mansion
Mansion
was
isn't even on the list. They didn't even mention
Yeah, it's
it.
weird they skip games. But anyway,
They
let's.
skip-
skipped-
over 5 million.
I think they skipped. Yeah, I think they skipped most of the.
Luigi's Mansion is over 5 million.
Luigi-
from what I
Now I
remember.
know you.
Yeah,
I
it was
know you
all
want me to
set-
get
it
to
was
Mario
all-
Kart juice, but I want to mention two other things.
Because I got to
get
talk
Mario
about
Kart.
the bet. So
Okay, so here's the thing. So first things first. Fire Emblem Three Houses is the best-selling Fire Emblem game now, which is
Is
weird
it the
to me.
best?
It's the best-selling. It's the highest-selling. I guess what I should say. It's at, which is weird because when you hear the number, it doesn't sound like this. You feel like Fire Emblem would have sold more than this. It's currently at 3 million. Like,
I think it's big,
and I'm
you know.
just like,
Pretty
that's
big.
the best-selling of all the Fire Emblem games, but that's still good. I'm very happy. I'm
But we all,
legitimately
we all
happy.
know,
huge,
we all
right?
know
That's
Awakening is the best.
I was gonna say
No,
when you say
Awakening.
it's the best
Awakening
selling
sold
one,
like Awakening sold almost 2 million, I think.
Does it
No, I
take
just
into
mean- I just
account,
mean
for
it's a better
example, like
Oh, really?
older versions?
That's hard. That's a hard decision for me.
Fates is the
Wait,
best.
what you
Sorry,
said?
sorry, Retro.
Go ahead,
I was gonna say,
Retro.
does it take into account all versions? Because, for example, Awakening and Fates, they have like 3 fucking versions and shit.
Yeah,
Does
Fates.
it combine all of those?
So
Yeah.
Awakening sold. I think the top 3 games is Three Houses, Fates, and then Awakening. Like Fates is at like 2.2 something million. Like it, and Three Houses went up another like 10,000, 10.
Wasn't
15,000.
Fates the one that had like Conquest and
Yeah,
some
Yeah, yeah,
versions?
yeah, it is. It is.
So it
But
They
combined
sweat all
it together.
Pokemon.
It's sold better than Awakening, but it wasn't by like a huge margin. It was just like Fates was the best selling game up until this point. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
3 million copies, and then obviously I think Juice already mentioned the 2 million sales for Xenoblade 2, so I'm happy about that. Oh, they do mention that Xenoblade Definitive Edition is at 1.4 million copies. So if that one has a steady climb like 2 did, it'll probably surpass that in a little while.
I haven't
Especially
bought
That's
because
it,
all,
so.
that's all thanks to Smash, yo. That's a lot.
Well,
of,
I mean, Xenoblade's having its little renaissance. I'm gonna let it do its fucking victory lap. All right,
it's because of Smash, yo.
I'm gonna let it celebrate.
Well, let me
itself.
just real quick. I was at Walmart earlier because I've been looking for something, and I figured I'd try Walmart because I haven't tried there yet. So I look in the game section, and I didn't tweet this out, but I went to Best Buy a couple days ago, and their fucking game selection is just pathetic. The Xbox was the worst. The Switch one wasn't much better. It had more copies of 3D All-Stars probably than not all the other games combined, like quantities, but as far as different types of games. They didn't have a huge selection of games. Xbox was absolutely pathetic.
I'm glad.
So I go to Walmart, and their displays are full of games. Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. I mean, it had Switch games I didn't even know they had physical versions, and I didn't realize that that
There's a code in the box.
$10 price cut is for all games. I thought it was just for launch games.
Yeah, all games.
There's not a Switch game over $49.95 at Walmart. So if anyone was looking to buy it, then I'm looking at some of the Xbox games, and like Resident Evil 3 was $60 at Best Buy. It's $39.99 at Walmart. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to ever buy a game anywhere else but Walmart at this point, because you just can't pass
And
up that.
are we promoted by Walmart or something right now?
I'm just
What's
saying, for
I'm
those that
waiting.
are looking to
I
buy
Can we
hate
get
to
that
promote-
sponsorship, baby?
we're talking about
I
sales,
hate
and
to
I'm trying to
promote
say,
Walmart because
help people
Go ahead,
save
You
money.
want your game? Go to Walmart.
because they're terrible as far as their employee relations. As a former employee myself, they are awful, and they don't pay for crap, and they
not
work their
surprised.
ass off.
I'm not
I mean,
surprised at all.
if you worked in shipping at Walmart, it's slavery. It is brutal back there, and for not a lot of money. But yeah, Walmart has basically taken over what Best Buy was doing. It seems like Best Buy just doesn't care about games anymore, from what Juice is saying.
Not really.
No,
From what I've noticed too.
that's the only
Um,
place you're gonna get to play like a PS5 or Series X like demo. Select stores are getting it. Walmart will probably get those. I don't even think they do that anymore. But I'm like,
they have some. They have kiosks.
like that's a
At least the one I go
$10 for $10 difference on every game, and then obviously there's sale prices too. Other than check Amazon on your phone while you're there, maybe it'll be on sale. But like that, just because I was like, man, if I get a Series X, I would probably buy some Xbox One games. And then I go to Best Buy, and it was just like pathetic. Like, there's nothing here. And then I go to Walmart. I was like, damn, there's a nice selection. I guess
I need to go to Walmart.
Sekiro or whatever runs at a lock 60 almost 100% of the time via backwards compatibility for anybody that's looking to play that game.
I've been wanting Sekiro for ages.
So anyway,
Ages.
Yeah, that one. I feel like that one fell under the radar. But I know
Just
Juice
caught
wants me
this today.
nice.
Oh, you dirty! Let's go!
Nice.
Let's go! I
Finally got it.
I'm
That's
happy
what I
about it.
want.
That's a quality game. It's a quality game. I know Juice wants me to touch on.
What's the top?
Oh, and how much did I pay for it? $42.
What's the top
Nice.
5? What's the top 5, Terrell?
The top 5 games
Sales.
of Switch games. Number 5, and I know Juice is not gonna be happy about this one. It's Pokemon Sword and Shield. And 1902 million, bitch. It's actually outside Mario Odyssey, by the way. Just throwing it out.
Can we just talk about the sales gap? The
Sales
thing.
gap between
From
like
number 6 to number 5. We were on 3 million or something.
I think it's like 10.
No.
Super Mario Party.
No. Pokemon is 19, and Mario Odyssey is like 18.
Okay.
909.
That game really felt like sales really stopped with that game.
Odyssey is only like maybe 30 copies off, 30,000 off, I think.
But that game
And
was
then-
at like 15 million in
Right,
mid
They
2018.
stopped promoting Odyssey. They promote Mario Kart 8 more than Odyssey.
That's true.
Well, that's
Yeah,
well.
they just
we're gonna-
went by radio.
We're gonna get to that. All right. So number 4 is Zelda at 19.74
That's
million.
good for Zelda. That's really good.
Damn.
Number 3.
Good for any game. 19 million? Think of
That's
Well,
disgusting.
for Zelda especially though, 20 million almost.
Especially when they were sitting in the back talking about we need 2 million to break even, and we were like, bruh,
Right.
I know. We gotta think about
you made the money in the first
Well,
day.
you did that.
In the first day.
These are numbers. These are numbers that no fucking franchise is getting at these times. Like no franchise is getting these numbers unless you're named Call of Duty.
I mean,
and
these
even then,
are-
I don't know how much Modern Warfare is.
These are
sold, but
long
This is
like, I mean,
franchises.
This
And
is
it was a
Nintendo
launch
getting
title.
back to their numbers, their Wii numbers, which
Now,
these are
astronomical.
crazy. These are insane numbers. Every single one. Of them.
okay, so
And they're insane.
number 3 is Smash Ultimate at 21 million.
Fucking hell.
And then our number
Deserves
2, our number 2 is Animal Crossing at 20 fucking.
Yeah.
That has to be one of the
million.
fastest.
Damn.
That has to be one of the fastest
That is-
games to
that is
25 million.
disgusting. It hasn't even been a year yet.
The game came out 5 minutes ago,
The game is like what?
9
The game
months.
is what?
It's been on the market
7
just under 9 months.
Oh,
Or 8
see,
months,
that's
sorry.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting.
It's not even a holidays yet, man.
I think
I
Grand.
love it.
But
I
then,
know-
unfortunately, it is not number 1.
Well, let me just real quick. I think Grand
Oh,
Theft
yeah.
Auto 5 is the fastest to like 20 or 30 million. I wonder what the how quickly it did that because I think Animal
On 20
Crossing.
different consoles.
Yeah, well, when it was 360 and PS3 only, I know like within a few weeks, I feel like it was at like 20 or 30 million. I'd be
Really?
curious where Animal Crossing lands as far as the fastest to.
Oh, that's
25.
like.
I think it's up there.
For Nintendo, it's got to be the. I
Oh,
guess
this
it's
is
number one.
disgusting. Yeah, this is
It has to be,
disgusting.
right?
But our number 1 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 28.99 million.
Come on, Animal Crossing.
And Mario Kart 8 is gonna be at 30 by the end of this year. Like there's no doubt in my mind at this point. They're about to hit
This is
29.
Black Friday.
Black Friday
This shit-
bundle, baby. Black Friday bundle. Is
Bruh,
it the same
and
box
to be
art?
fair, yeah, the box is ridiculous.
Is
So
it
here-
the same
here's
box as last year's? Black
No, well, at least it's the new Switch.
It's the new
Uh,
Switch.
Yeah,
battery
it's
life,
the new,
right?
it's the new Switch.
Thank you
can we also say that Animal Crossing is at like 26 million, the second one, and Christmas hasn't even fucking hit yet. It went
That's
to
gonna be
26 without
disgusting.
a single Christmas.
Well, I'm sure some people have already bought as a Christmas present because
Well, some have.
a lot of crazy
like,
people
It's still pretty early though.
they buy
Yeah.
stuff pretty
So-
early, but
Yeah.
not a lot.
Since Juice, you brought up the bundle. All things considered, regardless of your feelings of Mario Kart, and I know there are a lot of feelings about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's not a bad. That's a pretty good bundle. Like dead ass. It's the console, the game, and 3 months of the online subscription.
No.
And it's the new Switch. 300.
No.
I have to point that out because
Insane.
you remember what happened last year. We didn't want to talk about it, all right?
At least it's better
Uh,
than last year's the old Switch with the shorter
Right.
battery life.
I can argue that's a good bundle for keeping it 300 and you give me a free game in 3 months.
But the game's
of
free to
online.
them. Like it
It's
costs
free
them
to them.
nothing.
Well, shut up. Hey,
It costs
hey,
them nothing.
we're not talking about that. I knew you couldn't let it happen.
Why not
Throw 1-2 switch in there or something. Why don't you?
put Mario Odyssey? Give
It's
Mario
still a
Odyssey
bit-
some love. Put ARMS. I mean, I'm not saying they have to. They obviously don't have to. But
Not
you got
going.
some games.
Bitch,
that-
put snipper clips in there. Something.
snipper clips, ARMS. You
Oh,
could
right,
put
that's a game. I forgot about that.
games that actually like help the game out. You know, it's
Yeah.
gonna sell no matter what. People are gonna buy it no matter what.
I think they just wanted the money. They
But-
want the money.
So anyway,
Greedy
Mario Kart
mother-
8 sales. So this prompted Retro Death to drop down his prediction of Mario Kart 9 hitting the Switch.
Turn on the camera.
Only 25% down, so he's still 75% certain that Mario Kart 9 or whatever it's called is coming to the Switch. And I said that these sales absolutely final nail in the coffin for any chance of a new Mario Kart. And then plus Mario Kart home circuit or whoever tells me that killed any chances anyway. So I come up with a bet and he agreed. So let's officially state it for everyone to hear and for we can go back to this because it could be 5 years from now before this bet needs to get paid out.
Exactly.
I said I am so confident. I am 10,000% confident that there'll be no Mario Kart 9, whatever it's called. It might not be 9. It might have a sub name, but new
It's very
Mario
confident.
Kart exclusive to the Switch. I'm so confident it won't come. I said, if it does, I'll buy him and his girlfriend. Hopefully you're still together when this comes
I
out.
hope
But
so too.
Wow.
a digital copy.
What's that?
He's
Because
not hoping. He
could
wants
be
to buy
5
one
fucking
copy now.
years, man. Who knows? But either way, you and your
I don't want
significant
to talk about
other.
this,
We're
bro.
putting that bad mojo in the ether.
Because I know they
That's
play it
pretty fucked
together.
up, man.
Bad juju, man. That's bad
They play it
juju.
together.
Cut that
So,
shit out.
but if that doesn't come out on the Switch, and it comes out on the successor to the Switch, then Retro Death has to buy my copy. Now I'm gonna change. I'm gonna add something and see if you'll agree to it. Since I'm be buying 2 versions digitally, would you agree to buy a physical version for me?
Fuck yeah, and I'll even
Okay.
ship it to you.
Okay.
No problem with that.
No!
But
Like I said, there's a few stipulations I got. Like I said, it doesn't need to be called Mario Kart 9 because you have Double Dash, you have 64. But as long as it is a next
Yeah, new
gen
Mario Kart.
console Mario Kart and not like Mario Kart Super,
no
like
ports,
Live
no
Circuit, whatever they fucking
collections.
called it.
Yeah.
Exactly, nothing like that. So new game, and like you said, exclusive to the Switch. But obviously, in my head, I want to clear that shit out. The Switch, if they release a Switch Pro, that's all Switch.
Mhm.
We're talking about if there's a new next console, if it's on that, then you win the bet. And if
Yeah,
it's on both, like you said, then it's just a tie.
yeah. If it's a cross-gen game, then we'll call it a draw. So we got a few
Your
years.
Your point for why you think it's not happening, I have 2 points why I think it's happening. Number one, unlike everybody here, I think the Switch is going to go for another 5 years, easy. With the way it's going, with the sales it's having, I just see it. It's been like, what, 3 years now or some shit? I see it go for another 5 years. So that's one reason. I don't see us going 5 years without a new Mario Kart. Another reason is you say we're not getting one because Mario Kart 8 sold 28 million. I see that as 28 million potential buyers for Mario Kart 9 who are almost guaranteed to pick up the next game. And you don't know what's going to happen on the next system. I'm so confident that that's going to happen.
I mean, that's fine.
This man thinks this
You're
NVIDIA
so confident, but you
is still
dropped your percentage.
This man thinks.
I didn't know
You said you dropped to 75% certain from 100.
Yeah,
after,
that's a
after
drop.
Mario Kart home circuit.
because
So
of
let me get
the
this right.
whole
Let me get
thing
this
I
straight
did.
though. You think this NVIDIA Shield TV processor having Switch is gonna last another 5 years?
But no, because that's why I
As
included it.
Nintendo, as Nintendo's primary console, you believe
That's
that?
why it's important to include if they, I don't buy that stuff, but if they release a Switch Pro, that is still Switch for me.
Yeah,
Like,
like
I agree. I can see that.
Most
I
people
can see
would agree
that.
with that.
what if
Yeah,
it's
most people would agree with that.
what if they go exclusive like Xenoblade Chronicles 3D? What if they go exclusive to the Switch Pro for Mario Kart 9?
Man.
I don't think they would.
Yeah, I feel like
If,
that's
let's say
big money.
no, you don't know. Nintendo's weird. If they do that, personally, I would consider it's a draw because it falls
Yeah.
in the middle then.
I think they
I'd
would.
say draw too. That makes sense.
If they're gonna release it for the Switch, you want to hit the 100 million Switch owners, whatever it's gonna be at the end. You're not gonna just make it
Yeah.
exclusive. So yeah, the bet's out there. It's official. Everyone heard it. 25 people watching right now. Anybody watches the replay, you heard it. Hopefully we can remember. I might have to put it in I should have probably put it in the description or
I'm
something.
gonna save it this fucking time. Last
Yeah.
time I didn't remember where the bet was. I came all kinds of shit from that. Now I have 5 witnesses, chat witnesses. I'm gonna save this shit.
So let's see. Where do I want to go next? I'm trying to do.
Well, Terrell missed an important game, yo. He didn't say Paper Mario, yo. That was almost at 3 million.
Oh shit!
What's
My
that?
bad.
Paper Mario was almost at 3
million,
million.
you said?
I knew I had missed one.
Oh, Paper Mario.
And somebody in the
It's almost
chat
at 3
said
million.
Luigi's
and
Mansion.
Ring Fit's over. Ring Fit's also 5 million.
For
And
some
also,
reason, they mentioned the games that hadn't been talked about in a while, and for some reason didn't
Oh yeah.
give me the
Mario
whole
Kart?
fucking list.
Rocky has said the Luigi's Mansion number. You know what it is, Juice?
7.8
That's
or
it's at
something.
7.8.
7.8.
That
I
thing's
hope
gonna
that's
hit
true.
10, man.
Lovely.
I hope that's true.
That thing is
Good
It was
for
at
Luigi.
what was it was almost at 6 it was almost at 6 the last time I remember us hearing
Yeah.
it. So
apparently
Well, it's
Splatoon
good.
2's at
Deserves
11.2. That's crazy to me. Also, Splatoon 2.
yeah, that's
11.2 million.
fucking. And
Still
that's,
going
and,
strong.
and it's only
these are
its second
unbelievable
game.
numbers.
That's its
Yeah.
second game. That's disgusting.
And it's,
See,
I
think
mean,
about it, like what other company do you see all their games hitting these crazy high
Nobody.
numbers?
Yeah.
No company. There's not one company.
None.
It's these every single consistently.
and without major
look,
price drops either.
And that's why they hate Nintendo.
There's no price shots.
They wish they had these numbers. They'd be crying.
Which is weird because they actually do have Black Friday sales this year. That's the other thing I thought.
All they do is play Mario.
But wasn't it dropped? I seen a lot in the Target ad or something. It was like $49.99 and it's select Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
No, they
That's
dropped it to it's 40. I think it is. It's not 49. It's
Well,
40.
the one screenshot
Well-
image I saw said $49.99. I don't know if it was a typo.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's $39.99
Okay.
for most games. Fire Emblem, Zelda, Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario Tennis.
They
Aces,
never dropped
Super
Mario Kart 8 though, because then that
No,
cuts
they
into
don't
the
really
budget.
need. I mean, at this point, they don't have.
No,
to.
they do it because then it makes the bundle less of a value. If the game
That's
if the
true.
game by itself is $40, then it makes the bundle seem less of a value. That's
Also, they mentioned
What was Paper Mario? Did they have Paper Mario's number?
it was like 3.
It's 3 million.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
3 million.
That's
Which ain't
good.
bad.
2.8.
That's good.
That's
That's
not bad.
that's the
Considering
fact
it
that
came out in
Paper Mario-
July, that's not bad.
It's a good game. It is good.
Yeah, so
The
I'm
fastest selling
Yeah,
paper.
but we're saying it's not bad now when games are selling at like 3 million.
You wanna know why we say
That's-
that? No,
that's-
listen, clock
that's
it,
how-
clock
that's
it.
how-
It's Nintendo him. It's Nintendo.
That's how epic. Yeah, that's how epic Nintendo is. 3 million. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. That's good.
What? I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, like, holy
Well,
shit,
there's
like,
other-
that's huge numbers. Like,
There's other games and franchises where 3 million. You're like, yeah, that's okay. Like,
Well, yeah,
you know.
but these are the lesser,
Yeah, but these aren't-
quote unquote, smaller.
Paper Mario.
Yeah,
Nintendo
these are lower tier.
Now, if we're
franchises.
talking about
Yeah, we're like Paper Mario 3 million. Hey, that's not bad. And like Square, like Tomb Raider 3 million. They're like, man, this is trash. We want
Yeah.
at least 10.
we got to close
Wait,
the
isn't
studio
that wait?
pronto.
But that's what happened with Tomb Raider, didn't it? The Tomb Raider
Yeah.
reboot was
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it
said
eventually
was-
did
they said it
better,
was
but-
lackluster.
it sucks because
Yeah, when they dropped the price, it did better.
the whole debacle with Rise of the Tomb Raider
And it
being
wasn't exclusive anymore.
Oh yeah, because it was Xbox exclusive.
Well, I
the time
saw-
exclusive
Yeah,
for Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think hurt that game because By the
That was
time-
just a dumb choice.
Because it was on the Xbox One time. Dude.
Yeah, when there was nothing.
Bad decision.
Yeah, there was like 10 million Xbox.
Thanks, Laura.
Yeah.
So the funny
Laura.
things.
Not a lot of.
Laura.
Yeah, what
Shut
the
up.
hell,
I
Robert?
get it.
I was
If
saying,
anybody,
did you
uh,
notice that there's a lot of.
Go ahead. I was just gonna
Oh, no,
say.
I was just gonna say there's a
Yeah,
lot
why is
of,
there a delay?
Oh,
There's like a major delay with Robert.
oh, for me or for you? Because I hear you right away when you say.
No, you're pretty delayed,
no.
I think.
Yeah.
It
looks
seems like
you're
you're the
like
one
you're-
that it gets interrupted the most. So it's in this first 30 minutes
It
here.
looks like your feed is slower too. Like it's choppy a little bit. So maybe it's your net.
Because
It's
I
probably
can
that
hear
camera.
you guys right away.
I think it's just his face.
You trying your new camera or is this your webcam?
No, it's just normal camera.
Well, either way, were you gonna say
That fucked me
something?
up,
I'll give you
Buck.
10 seconds.
Oh, I was gonna. No,
No, I mean I'll give you 10 seconds
answered
before I
immediately.
interrupt.
You mean 10-second
Answer
delay?
immediately.
He's giving you a.
but I
say,
immediately-
like I said earlier, I think Discord has an issue. So.
Poor Robert. He's trying
Robert,
to
you
get
might want to get out,
Oh,
come
sorry,
back
sorry,
in.
Rob. Sorry, Rob.
Robert, jump out, come
Oh,
back
really?
in. Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna jump out. Is it really that delayed to me?
Yeah, it's pretty delayed.
because every time we'll give him a
He
second.
was talking.
I
That's
give-
how bad it's delayed. In the middle of his own sentence.
I
He
know,
cut himself
I gave
off.
you. I gave him 3 seconds. He
sorry.
didn't say nothing. Then I start talking, and then you just start talking. So
Is it good?
Right, Rob, the floor belongs to you. Go.
I hear you right. I just answered as soon as you finished that sentence. Was it delayed?
It's still delayed because like your mouth isn't matching with your words. I'm seeing like
But I
you're behind.
But
He's okay.
Is
Though.
I think he's better.
I don't know.
All right, everybody, shut up,
Better,
but
you're better
Robert.
now.
Everybody, shut up, but
Okay,
Robert.
I'm just trying to figure out whether because maybe I think this is always in my face and the voice is always out of sync. But like
It's out
I
of
still
sync, yeah.
I'm finishing like you said. Whenever you guys finish, I'm trying to go right away to see if it's right. All right. Anyway, what I was gonna say was you notice that there's a lot of Black Friday deals. Like I saw they have like Resident
I'm
Evil
trying not to have
3
a
remake
spit take.
for like $15 and shit. There's like some pretty
Which one?
hefty Resident Evil 3 remake. It's like for like $15 or something.
Where? Where was that?
I want to play that. I want to play it.
$15.
Because
Yeah, so yeah.
I thought about
pretty good,
picking it up
man. I
for
really
40.
enjoyed it.
I might have to cop that.
Let me see
Yeah, it
what. Do you know where that might be? That
I
deal?
just saw someone saying, but I didn't
I'll
click
skim.
the.
I'll skim for it too.
I
Actually,
see.
Because I've been waiting for a price drop.
I paid $30 for mine.
It says drop to $40 on June. Well, that was a long time ago. It was $60 at Best Buy, and now it's $40 at Walmart.
So somewhere over 15, but
hold
Could be
on.
wrong.
Maybe I need to put in Black Fridays.
Yeah, I don't think you can search game specific.
oh, see, look, this says maybe it's 20. It was 20. I might be wrong.
mean, that's
You
still
sure
not
it's not
bad.
just the Steelbook?
It says
Empty.
GameStop Black Friday 2020 ad. Yeah.
Because they have a
Let's see. Yeah, I'll
Steelbook
put-
cover for $20, where it's not.
Oh
the
no, I
game.
see it. It's on game. I see it on GameSpot. Where?
Is it
Yeah.
still after Thanksgiving?
You have
Black-
there's a lot of these. It says Borderlands 3 $10, Crash.
I saw that
30.
one. All right, here it is. Let's see.
$10 for Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Yo.
What the?
Oh,
okay. It's
Last
supposedly
of
it's
Us
for,
2 is 30.
it's supposed to be for Best Buy juice, at least based off the link it gave me. But it's not going to show it now.
And this is in store.
I see it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be $15 on Resident Evil 3 remake. Supposed to be
I'm going
$15.
shopping, yo.
Damn, look at the
I'm going shopping.
Watch Dogs
I need some
Legions.
Series X
Holy
games.
Yeah, Watch Dogs
Holy
Legions,
shit, for Black
$32.99.
Friday.
Already? What
Yeah, I
the
was gonna
fuck?
say that.
That's doorbusters. I think you got to get there
Why?
early.
Why even? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
To the shopping channel. What's going on?
I mean, this is what happens, bro.
Marvel's
I'm gonna cop
Avengers.
that.
Avengers
It's fu-
$27.
No, fuck it. It's still too much for that piece of shit.
Yeah,
That'll be
that's right.
$8 like Anthem. Just like Anthem, that'll be $8 and not too distant future.
Well played.
People
I heard currently they've lost
Anthem when
Last
it's
of Us
like
2
£1 right now.
$30. Last of
Three
Us 2
people
is
were just
50%,
talking.
$30.
They also.
All right, one at a
Wait.
time. This is really
Sorry.
distracting.
Sorry.
All right, Robert, go.
No, I was just saying Last of Us 2 $30. Pretty good.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Clock
Oh,
Crash
Crash
Bandicoot.
and Doom
What?
$20.
I might get Doom.
for Switch.
Doom is 20.
Definitely.
It's not. You knew. Yeah, eat
not
it,
Eternal.
Eat it, dick
$20.
juice. I knew you were
Doom
going to
Eternal,
fucking
Doom Eternal.
mouth.
It's on Game Pass. Why would you buy it, guys? It's on Game Pass. It's free.
What are you trying to imply? Juice?
First, you just gotta buy Xbox, Xbox One or Xbox, and then you get Game Pass, and then it's free.
Played on PC.
Let me just pull my PC out. I'm done with this shit.
I do.
man.
We'll talk
Agree,
about.
yeah.
We're gonna talk about the lineups of the new systems. Xbox comes out
Yeah.
tomorrow. There's no midnight because of COVID-19,
Oh, it's coming out tomorrow.
and then PS4 comes out Thursday, and
I knew when
PS4
they came out.
is
yeah.
only available without pre-orders for online retailers. So you have to. They'll have them in the store in your town, but you have to order it online, and they won't even list the time it's going live. So it's just stupid, but.
So it's like in-store pickup, but
Yeah, so
surprise.
Target-
For COVID, but I think it's because they don't have enough. That's what I believe.
Well, that's probably
it's
true,
because
actually.
Target won't say the time that they're gonna go live with it. They just said on November 12th. So was it gonna be 12:01? Is it gonna be 8 a.m. when they open? Like no one knows, but it'll be interesting.
Be 5:30.
But
Either one of these bitches got enough consoles,
no,
and they try to hide it in some PR spin. But whatever.
Dude, your slice of pizza is just as big as my.
They should just
entire
wait until
pizza.
next year. Wait till March.
No,
I know.
Rachel,
And
don't
release
I was
ask
gonna
me,
say it
don't-
looks
no.
pretty good.
and then
That pizza looks pretty good, yo.
Jesus Christ.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla has like a shit ton
Oh.
of bugs. If I watched a couple reviews, and it's a pretty buggy game, and it's like,
Wait,
Why-
wait, Valhalla?
yeah,
Really?
Of course, it's buggy. It's Ubisoft.
Yeah,
They
my,
said
my
it's,
friend who's playing
I
it
get-
now said it's pretty buggy. I said, well, it's a Ubisoft game. What do you expect?
well,
Right.
their last couple ones haven't been so bad because they weren't trying to get it out
Yeah, I mean,
before, for a console launch. So
Well,
they
they're
had
trying to put it out for 10
eight-
different systems
8
right
platforms and or 7, whatever.
Right.
it
Maybe
is.
they should cut that shit out. Maybe they should fix
To
that.
be fair though, I saw some screenshots earlier, and
It looks nice.
these were Series X screenshots. They looked fucking amazing.
now. Yeah, it does look
And
good.
he's like riding on top of a wolf, which I didn't know you could do. And that's like, I used to do that in World of Warcraft, which I fucking love.
I mean, it
was
looks
looking at this,
cool
I was
until
like,
you
okay,
realize
yeah.
it's an Assassin's Creed game.
Right, that's the problem.
But they said it's-
That's
do,
the
we,
worry.
do we really even call that Assassin's Creed at this point? It feels
That's
like
what I was
it's
gonna
not.
say.
It's
I
kind
know.
of changed.
It doesn't look like it's that.
Do they still have the?
I'm actually kind of interested.
Do they still
this
have the?
year, not gonna lie.
What is it? A new? What do they call
Don't
the
be
thing?
fooled. It's still Assassin's Creed.
Where it's like the future, and then you go back into the past.
The,
Do they?
the Animus.
Do they
use
still
the
even
Animus.
bother with that? Because that's the dumbest
Yeah, I
part
believe
about it.
so.
I don't think they have
Yeah,
for a
I
while.
believe so.
There's only so much you can tie into that
Really?
storyline. It's-
There
The
is a-
only reason they're calling this shit Assassin's Creed and shoehorn that other shit in there is to sell it. There's
sell
no
it, yeah.
reason this is.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you have to do
Like
at this point.
But if
They could have just called the game Valhalla, and that would.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with Terrell a little because, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Ubisoft are quite good at getting new IPs out there and people noticing them.
Yeah,
Even Starlink got noticed, where it sold loads of
Oh,
lots,
yeah,
still got
fair.
noticed. And then what was that other game? For Honor. For Honor done well.
For Honor's actually really
Uh,
good.
That's right.
Gods and Monsters. What is it now?
Immortals.
Phoenix
Uh,
Rising?
Talking about that.
Immortal.
Well, here's the
Immortals.
thing.
Immortal. There we go.
I was watching this review. I think it was IGN, and obviously the visuals looked phenomenal. But it wasn't just the graphics; it was the artistic design going on. The setting really was stunning, and it's like he's talking about all the positives. Like, man, that I could consider picking that up, and then you had to deduct points because it's right now it's just such a buggy, glitchy mess that it hampered his experience, and then gave it like an 8 out of 10 at the end. And I'm like, well, if they could iron out those issues, I mean, from what I heard, it does seem like it's gone in a different direction for the most part, and I like the setting a lot. That'd be something I'd consider picking up. And then I seen
That's how I'm feeling.
extended preview of Immortals, and I was like, man, I'm like, the combat's kind of like an action combat. It's different than their
Yeah,
usual
I think
Ubisoft.
I think
What are you
they've
gonna get it on?
on,
Shoes.
PC.
Whatever system I might happen to have that can play it the best.
my friend.
We'll see it
swore
tomorrow,
blind by Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Absolutely swore blind for this, saying it's a change for the series. Odyssey is amazing. Got more RPG
I hope
elements
so.
in it now and stuff. So I actually do believe that the Assassin's Creed series actually has started to get better now, and Odyssey was the start of that.
Yeah, I think Odyssey was the beginning of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this game could actually be a really good adventure.
I feel
And
like
I
they're
think
still
the
rushing
thing
the
about
games
like
out.
the thing about like Odyssey and Valhalla, you know, they're both two of my favorite fucking myths. You know, you got Greek mythology and you got Nordic mythology, and they're both meant to be good games. So and they do play upon the fantasy as well.
Yeah, it looked
so
like
you do have like
some-
gorgons and stuff in.
What's the
Odyssey.
one that has the Egyptian?
Origins.
That
That's,
was
I thought that was
Origins.
Odyssey. Oh,
Oh, that's
that was
Origins.
That looks cool.
Origins.
That's like
Oh,
one.
Origins.
That was one I was actually interested in, but I
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I just got it
Shit.
recently for super cheap. That's why I haven't played it yet.
But apparently this
Looks
one
cool.
changed the side mission structure, and it seems to be way more enjoyable. Robert, were you telling us that in the chat? Somebody was saying that the other day, yesterday or the day before, where it's like a dot, where there's, maybe it was in the Discord. There's like colored dots on the map, and then you just go to them, and it's like,
Someone said it's more like Zelda-like from what I kept hearing.
yeah, somebody,
yeah. Oh, I did send
Yeah,
that.
that
I
was
sent that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was
yeah,
just,
yeah.
you sent a link and I read it,
someone said-
and then IGN kind of
They said
seconded
that.
that.
They were like, that's wild.
They said the
Yeah.
side quest is more natural, organic. It's not so forced. Go to this icon and you know exactly what's going to happen type stuff. But as far as that, like Miles Morales getting decent reviews. I think it's getting 8.5s, and seems to be pretty shorter than I think some people were hoping, but I've heard anywhere between 8 to like 12 hours. I don't know what that counts side missions and stuff. It looks stunning visually. I like the suits, the different suits Miles Morales has, but a lot of the same moves. I see that my old favorite. You hold down whatever button and he swings at the enemy. Do that over and over to juggle them in the air. So it seems to be, everyone seems to agree it's about a DLC. I mean, it feels more like DLC than I think even Uncharted Lost Legacy. So it's kind of weird to be a launch title, be $50 and to be pretty much a DLC game. So, but for what's there, it seems like people are enjoying it. And then I think Astro's Playground's probably the only other new game getting reviews. I don't think anything else comes out.
Wait, does Demon Souls review?
Oh wait, that would,
Demon Souls.
it hasn't had any yet, so those
Oh, okay.
embargo must not have lifted on that one.
So Sony chucked up another 20 minutes of gameplay.
pretty
though,
good,
which
Yeah, they had that
so-
12-minute state of play, just basically all
no, it's
gameplay.
12 with it, though.
Looks great.
Yeah, I mean, it looks it looks really good. But the thing with me is, I'm gonna start playing it, and this is Demon Souls. It ain't for me. That gameplay ain't.
I think you got to remember as well, like it's essentially what they done. Yeah, I love Blue Point for doing this. Some people don't like it, but they even confirmed in that 12 minutes of gameplay that they are using the base code of the PS3 original game, so it plays exactly like you remember. They might have tweaked a few other things, but it is the Demon Souls that you remember, but just looking glorious.
Yeah, one of the more.
basically. So I kind of agree with
prefer
T. I know I'll start playing it. I'll be like,
Yeah,
man,
and
this
I'll
is
be like,
stunning. But it'll definitely start feeling familiar. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a remake, and we would kill for other games to be remade.
Of
looking like
course.
that. Absolutely kill for this.
Super Mario 64. Anyone?
Yeah.
They had a chance to do it, but money.
Or Ocarina of Time. We all love
Ocarina of
to
Time.
do readers, but if you're going to go to the next level of remake, this is where these are the realms where you want to go to.
Mhm. It'd be interesting just to.
I'm a for
Robert.
I'm a for the PS5.
He's still sleeping. His
I'll
computer's
pick up,
sleeping. Last week he fell asleep.
Delay.
I'll pick Sackboy and Bug Snacks. Those would probably be my two that I'll probably pick up. I don't think, honestly, like, I don't think I'm picking up Spider-Man Miles Morales. I just, that was okay. Maybe down the road, I don't know.
Oh wait,
And,
$70.
Sorry, Rob. I think Bug Snacks is coming to PS Plus, isn't it? Is it a free game or something?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know. Is it free?
Yeah, but I don't have PS Plus, so and I want a physical copy.
Sackboy.
What about whatchamacallit? Is Sackboy?
Sackboy?
Is that's included, right? With the
No,
system?
that's Astro's Playground.
No, that's Astro's Playground.
Oh, I'm thinking of Ash.
Astro
That's what it is.
Playground.
Astro
Sackboy,
is-
they haven't really shown much, but the levels I've seen, I get a lot of 3D World vibes
Shit's looking good.
from what I've seen.
Looking good, man. I'm liking it. I can't wait. Comes out this Thursday, yo. I'm playing on
Looking average to
PS4.
me.
Me too.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It looks pretty average to me. It's visually pretty.
We
but
haven't seen a lot of
game-
it though. I mean, I can't really judge, but the little snippets I saw, I was like, yeah, it looks more like a 3D platformer than and who's making it?
It literally looks like
Sumo
Little
Digital?
Big Planet.
Sumo Digital.
Like you're playing a platform-made section of Little Big Planet. That's what it looks like.
Mhm. Yep, I agree.
Not what I.
Still, I mean,
It's gonna
I
end
think
up being
I think
like
I'll
Super
enjoy
Lucky
it.
Tales.
It's
and
a
shit.
3D
That was-
game. It's not no 2D. It's not a 2D.
Hey, I really like this. Tale.
Yeah,
I like
for the
this.
5 minutes the game
Yeah, I
lasts,
mean, it could end up if it ends up like
It
Super
was
Lucky's
fun,
Tale.
though. It was fun, though.
Then yeah, that'd be disappointing. So that's definitely a game I wait for reviews from
Nah,
people.
but who's making this one? Sorry, who's making Sackboy? It's so good.
Sumo Digital.
Sumo Digital. You know,
Sumo
I
Digital.
mean, they got the programming.
They
can
got-
do this,
yeah.
they can do this stuff. You know,
they got a good track record.
We'll see. We'll see.
And again, Bug Snacks is that surprise. Everyone that was talking down Bug Snacks, Bug Snacks meme, and then it's getting great reviews. Of course it was.
Well, they're
I knew
only
that
making
shit
fun
was
of it because of how it looks and it's on this super powerful console.
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
can
I-
get great
Exactly.
reviews. That doesn't mean it's a great game.
Yeah.
No, I know, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like, I guarantee you, it's a fun game. I guarantee you, it's
Yeah.
unique. It's
The,
gonna be
the,
a
sad-
cool
the sad
experience.
part
For
is
a
that
throwback-
Viva Pinata graphically looks better than Bug
Right.
Snacks.
Yeah,
And that's not an
Yeah.
insult on Viva Pinata because Viva Pinata, it looks beautiful.
yeah, it's
I was going to say a throwback comparison for me would be like Space Station Silicon Valley for N64. The game
Ooh.
looks ugly. Visually, it's not that good looking, but it's awesome gameplay. Like, it's a
Concept
great
wise,
game.
it's
Concept-wise,
fantastic, yeah.
All right, so before we get into the
I'll
lineups and
probably play
stuff,
that on PS4.
let's just talk about some of the, I guess, revelations we found out. First off, PS5 backwards compatibilities seems to be pretty solid. I don't know why Sony's kept it such a secret. You know, like just like with the Series X, if a game had uncapped frame rate, I mean, almost every example Digital Foundry tested was a lock 60, mainly because the a lot of these games didn't get an enhancement. Like Xbox One X enhanced games look and run amazing on the Series X, but if a game didn't get an enhancement, then the PS4 version, you know, ran at 1080 where the Xbox was lower. So the games, like the earlier games that didn't get any kind of enhancement for Pro and Series X, the PS5 has the advantage. But games that had upgrades for PS4 or for the Pro and the X, the Series X has a decent advantage. So, but overall, it's just one of those things they didn't talk about, they didn't show it, and now that people could talk about it, it was kind of a relief for somebody, you know, that, like me. I have a decent amount of PS4 games that, you know, their backwards compatibility seems to be pretty good. So it's like, why the hell did you keep that a secret? You know, what was the point of keeping that under wraps? Like, I don't know, but it was a little bit of a relief. And then the weird thing is that the Series X loads the games faster in almost, I think it was like 80% of the cases for games. And even though the PS5 solid state is supposed to be, you know, twice as fast as the Series X, it was kind of weird that the load times are actually quicker on the Series X for backwards compatible games. So it was kind of a, it's just does. What are you guys laughing at? What am I missing?
That SSD though.
It's just being stupid.
Oh, they still in the chat. Sorry, I didn't realize.
I must have missed something.
Little jokey jokes.
But yeah, you know, I think with the quick loading and all that stuff, you know, the talk will be there, you know, from both these guys, from both their consoles, you know, but realistically, you know, I don't honestly feel you're gonna see too much difference. Some are plus, some are minuses, and they won't even be that far apart. You know, just
Nah,
just like
man. PS5's hard drive is the fastest thing on the planet.
Well,
son.
Spawnwave made a good point about that. I just remembered the PlayStation 5's backwards compatibility. They even said it was in the AMD leak, and then they said it in that Mark Cerny thing. It actually, the CPU actually clocks more like the PS4 Pro or the base PS4. Like it clocks down to help with compatibility, whereas the Series X is at a locked whatever super high clock speed. So he thought maybe that had to do with why the Series X was doing better with backwards compatibility. Plus, they put more effort into the backwards compatibility. So where the PS5's CPU is downclocking to match PS4 Pro, that's probably the difference in the loading speeds in that situation.
Yeah.
But it's a little surprising though, even with both of them with these super fast hard drives, still seeing a minute plus loading times on these. Yeah, they were 3 minutes before, and now they're a minute. It's cut, in a third, but it's still crazy to me that games that weren't
What games you seen those?
like Red Dead, was it
Oh,
Red Dead,
right.
Final
Red Dead
Fantasy
is-
15. Some of these games still have close to a minute, but like I said, it's 3 minutes to go
You
from
got to
the
kind of
menu.
blame the optimization. On
Yeah,
the
it's-
original
it's-
game.
Those got to be the games themselves.
Yeah, because when you see Miles Morales, I mean, you can fast travel. It's 2 seconds to anywhere in the map. It's like Witcher 3 on the Series X. If you're in the same region, it's 1 second. It's under a second. If you go to a completely different continent or region, it's like 9 seconds. I mean, that's a huge.
that happens on a Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, man. Same region, snap like that, fast travel, you're there. You want to go to a different area, it takes about that same amount of time as well.
And Muhammad. Yeah, we'll talk about the largest launch lineup in console history, Muhammad. I know you're being serious.
Yeah, he's
We're-
serious. Though.
We're going to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it,
'Cause it's
bro.
funny.
Love you, Muhammad. Love you, but quit playing.
This is gonna be rough.
So,
Look at all these games fuck. Where they go?
but so it's like, and then you got the PS5 from someone like me. I'm always excited about tech and stuff. I bought my LG TV last year to have all these features, and then turns out the PS5 don't support a couple of the bigger ones like the auto.
Oh man, you're gonna be pissed like Retro with Metro Prime 2.
Like the auto low latency mode.
Oh,
Where you
damn.
boot up a game and it automatically goes into low latency mode instead of having to switch it in the menu. It doesn't support that right now. It doesn't have the variable refresh rate for, it helps reduce screen tearing. And it's like, come on. I mean, guys, that's at this point that shit should be automatic standard day one. But then, Microsoft's always been good with, looking at my old Xbox right there, that thing supported 1080i back in fucking 2001. So they've always been ahead of the curve when it comes to, staying up with new features, standard features of TVs.
Was it 1080i?
Yeah, I could do 720p or 1080i.
Oh yeah.
But it was
yeah,
like
right.
a few games, like Ninja Gaiden, I think.
Yeah, it was only a few games.
1080i option, but
Crazy though.
yeah, that was through Component Video. Otherwise, they might have shot for 1080p. I don't know if it had HDMI.
That's one for your backlog there, Rob. I'll kick your ass, Ninja Gaiden.
Oh yeah, jeez. And then the harder
I
version.
couldn't complete
black.
it. I cannot complete it. It's so
Really, I
hard.
beat it. On
No,
the
You didn't beat
Xbox.
it?
Did you play the black version, the harder version, or the standard?
No, just the original standard one. It
Hmm.
fucked me up at the time.
I
might-
hated.
I need to go back to it. I still got it. Perhaps I should go back to it and give it another chance. I
I
got to
beat
the
it.
I got to the airship section, and we don't like these
It's
these
brutal.
gangways on the airship, and I got my ass whooped, man.
I don't even remember
Jesus.
that. I know I finished it, but I have not too many memories of it for some.
It was all.
I just
blur.
remember these stupid enemies you'd face that would block just about everything you did, and then you start out with one, and then by the end you're like fighting 4 at a time. It was really frustrating, but one of the better games. One of my favorites from that Xbox generation for sure. And when I get a Series X, I might throw it in there and see what try to. I did, there's no save file obviously because I haven't turned on my OG Xbox in 10 years. I don't know if there's any option to upload save files if I actually logged in on that.
That would be pretty impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, the Xbox, it's definitely hardware wise, it's unquestionably the better option. Like when it comes to support features for HDMI 2.1 TVs, it comes on backwards compatibility, auto HDR, the quick resume. It's just hands down. If you're gonna play third-party games, if that's your big thing, then you probably want to get a Series X. But like Clocked said, I don't think there's going to be a huge visual difference between Series X and PS5 multiplats. It'll be interesting someday when we get some real exclusives for the Series X versus like a true exclusive for the PS5. You know, what kind of...
I think it'll be a frame rate difference in some, probably.
You know,
Yeah.
we'll see. You know, and then they got the Series S, you know, like to contend with. So it's just going to be interesting. I don't think there's going to be a huge difference in visuals because even Spider-Man surprised a lot of people. Digital Foundry especially was like, I didn't expect to see 4K with ray tracing at a lock 30 frames per second. You know, and at launch they figured that would come
But
later.
I mean, there wasn't a
this
huge
is-
difference in the PS4 and Xbox One either. But people act like, oh no, it says 900p, so I can see it.
Yeah, well,
I
percentage-wise,
I think we're already starting to see. I think we're already starting to see. You know, I mean, what we've seen for the backwards compatibility is what a lot of people wanted. You know, the 1080p 60 frames a second. You know, all your old PS4 and Xbox One
That's
games now
right.
are running fucking flawless. What you expect on a home console. And
Yeah.
now we jumped to the new gen, so we jumped to 4K. But now they've had to go back down to 30 because what I didn't know was they confirmed that with Demon Souls, where if you want it in 4K, you can have it at 30 frames a second. If you want it 60 frames, you can have it at 1080p. I think it was.
no, it's
know, so-
it's still near 4K. It's just what do you call it? Adaptive.
Is it 1440?
Yeah,
I
But,
think
you know,
Digital Foundry said
we're-
it,
we're-
the
we're
low end
already
was
starting to
14.
see those. We're already starting to see those games, you know, at their higher resolutions. If you want them native, the high resolution and full frame rates, we're already starting to see some cuts. But don't get me wrong, we're still very early, and you know, there's still a lot of games that we're going to see and
But
haven't
they-
seen. So,
All that footage was the 60 frames per second option, and it looks stunning. Like there's
oh yeah, there's no knock on
crazy.
how it looks or anything. I'm just talking about, you know, we're kind of where we all got promised 1080p 60 frames per second, you know, from the PS4 and stuff. Then we're all promised 4K 60 frames a second from, you know, the PS5 and the Series X and stuff. Stop talking about titty flops. And you know, but, you know, at the start of a gen, you know, we're back to, you know, like here and there and stuff. But like I said, it's too early for me to even care or start tuning that stuff up because the games look, you know, phenomenal. You know,
Yeah,
the
That's the
pictures look
cinematic frame rates. It's cinematic.
well, that's some they even said
Oh,
that.
God.
But the funny thing is, I
shit.
watched those two Spider-Man and that video, and I got the different. I'm a complete opposite. That gave me hope. Oh wow, we're getting 60 frames per second. Games that look this good at launch. Like
I'll play every game 1080p. Fuck me,
they're not 1080p. I think the lowest it goes is like 1440, but a lot of it was real close to 4K. They said Spider-Man's. They said it looked to be above the PS4 Pro version, which ran at 1440p, higher settings, lock 60, not even a dip. So I don't know. It gave me hope that we'll see that become more of a thing and not revert back to the 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
What about you, Robert?
I mean,
Are you gonna get either
Being a
console?
12-year-old.
I mean, like I've said that I'm not gonna pick up either until probably January. I mean, it would probably be sooner rather than later. Probably February, March, something like that. It'd be around that era at that time. If earlier, I doubt it, but I think for me is gonna pick up that PS5 first, especially because I know Ratchet and Clank is gonna come out first half of next year. So that alone.
Oh yeah,
And then,
I meant to ask
and I
that.
really do want to play fucking Astro's Playground. I really do. And I know it's only going to be a few hours, but and it's gonna be
I want to
cool.
play that.
It looks
I'm
really
getting
cool.
a PS5, but I want to play that shit. That looks really
Me too.
cool. Playground.
And
Yeah.
hopefully they expand it into like a full-fledged game and sequel or something. But last week I meant to ask you guys and I forgot. So we're at the dawn of the 9th generation, Sony and Microsoft. So if you, let's say Twitter had a contest and you were selected, all right, you get to a free next-gen console of your choice. So Series S, Series X, PS4, or PS5 digital, PS5 standard. But the caveat is you can't sell it. You have to play it. That's hypothetical. They'll know. You have to play it. You can't just pick the one you think you could sell.
Who the fuck would know?
They'll know.
Is Phil Spencer gonna be looking over my fucking shoulder? I know you didn't play that
So-
game, boy.
With that in mind,
Hey.
I want to get everybody. You got to pick which one would you pick and why. So we'll start with you, Clocked It.
I was going to say the only person who's going to be hateful enough to not play both machines would be Terrell. So
Retro.
I think yeah,
I wouldn't say
all of us-
hateful. I would just say petty as fuck.
Practical. He would say practical.
Yeah, let's go
Well,
with
I
that
mean,
word. Yeah, that sounds better.
If you get one handed to you, it could be a completely different set of logic to get you to your choice versus if you had to spend your own money.
If I was going to get one now for free, the only one I would get right now is the PS5, and that would be purely for Demon Souls. That'd be it. Because I can't get excited about anything else for these machines coming forward. I haven't put that much interest into Horizon. New God of War is coming, but man, all we've seen is a logo. It's not on the same level as Metroid Prime 4 logo.
Did you play Horizon?
No, I think it's one that's gonna pass me. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
It's also one where I think you could probably start with the sequel and you'll probably be all right.
I wouldn't.
Depends on where they take it. It depends on where they take it.
Yeah.
But
I think there's
I
a
mean,
big
literally just based off that one launch title, just to see how incredible it looks. Just for Demon Souls.
All right, what about you, Robert?
I'd buy the other one myself then.
He hates
I'd
making
get
decisions.
It's so good.
I'd get the Series S because fuck physical games. No,
I don't like CDs no more.
Nah, I mean, if someone was like, "Hey, it's free thing right now," I'd go with the PS5 just because like I always talk about the exclusive wise again, Astro's Playground. I would not mind playing Astro's Playground this Thursday, but I gotta hold on, say relax, bro. It's not quite worth it right now. I know, like I said, Ratchet's coming up and stuff like that. I think I would pick up the PS5 over the Series X for now, and then Series X later on. So I would tell the guy, hey, PS5, please.
All right, Retro Death, it's your moment.
Shine,
blow
baby,
it.
shine.
Don't
I
blow
don't
it.
know why you think I would be a hater and stuff, because I love PlayStation and kind of shit. It's actually really easy for me because the thing I do hate is kind of Microsoft. I've never owned a single Xbox in my life. I probably never will.
And
I've
now's
too
your
many
chance
games
for
to
free.
play.
This guy's
Other
happy.
shit.
Though.
Yeah, but if it's free, then
I gotta keep up the
would still
facade,
get
damn it.
I would still get the system that I like because Robert, I'm interested in a lot of these games. The Astro's Playground, Sackboy, Ratchet and Clank, even Mike Morales. I can't wait for that shit. Demon Souls.
Mike Morales.
You want to be like Mike,
Mike
man.
Morales.
You want to be like Mike, bro.
Man, Miles.
And
Miles Morales.
Like Mike O.E.
that controller just looks really
Man,
fucking sexy.
Black
It
Spider-Man get no love.
That controller looks like it's really, even apart from the magic it can apparently do, it looks really slick and comfortable. Now, I really fucking hate the design of the PS5, but it has a lot of shit that I'm interested in, and I like PlayStation games and shit. And I don't care for Halo 2 reboot or whatever the new Halo is looking like, and I don't care for racing simulators, and that's all Xbox has to me.
Well, here's another reason you'd probably want it.
Well, Ori.
There's a patch for Days Gone where it runs at a fully locked 60 all the time. So if you're still playing that, you could.
I platinumed it. I might do Apocalyptic Hard Game Plus at some point.
Can you bring your save over to the PS5?
That one you can for sure.
Okay.
Because it's not a full.
Retro.
It's not a remaster. It's just a 60 frames per second option.
Easy
Okay.
achievement hunter.
Wait, Retro, you've platinum Days Gone and you haven't finished Xenoblade 2, yo?
There's no achievements.
I'm done.
That's crazy.
Starlink.
I'm out. Fuck this.
It's a different example. Days Gone is like a standard PlayStation story game.
I hate you, Retro.
You play through it, and you get to the end, and that's it. You know, or you can find a
Platinum?
few things
Isn't
in the
that
way.
like? Wouldn't
I'm
that be
taking
but
back
we-
your
more?
Xenocard. You
For
fuck.
me, Xenoblade is something I like. I'm way more invested in. There's way more to do. I like just fucking grinding because of how much I love the combat. So I have like 5 times more hours in Xenoblade, and I'm still going in that
Is he
shit.
still sitting over here
Okay,
talking this
all right.
bullshit? What is
Bullshit.
this?
All right, we're
Just
moving on.
bullshit.
I'll be
What is your
interested.
progress on Starlink? Is what I want to know.
Yeah,
He's
'cause
like
that was
level
the best
99 in
space
his first
shooter.
area.
That was like the greatest space shooter of all
The
time.
greatest
wasn't
space
it?
shooter of all times. That's what.
I think I have quite some hours.
bet I
in
have more
Starlink. I've been playing
hours.
it a lot this past month actually. Starlink.
Retro never changed.
I bet I have more
Never
hours
changed.
than Starlink though, and I haven't played it in 2 years, probably.
Never
Well,
changed.
Year and a
Retro.
half.
Ouch.
All right,
But
T.
I like it. My problem is like some of you guys didn't know this shit. You're like, T knows this shit. I'm still waiting on T's first level of Merry Maker 1. New games come out, you start playing new
Oh,
shit, and
how
stuff
you
just
do
gets
that?
crazy.
He put one out. He
You
put
can-
out a.
yeah,
Mar-
you can call me out on that.
You put one
I'm
out.
still gonna call
I'll
you out
give
on
you-
that Starlink though.
I'll give you credit, T. You did put out one Mario Maker level on the first game.
I did.
So I'm curious because T, the way I'm approaching this, I'm curious what your thought will be if like I said, a free version pick the console.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be surprised by my answer. Maybe some people might, but if somebody was gonna give me a free console, next generation console, I'm gonna take the PS5 because I'm not that interested in it
Mhm.
right now. But I'm definitely gonna get an Xbox One, so that would save me the money. That would save me the time of thinking about getting
That's
one
kind of
later.
what I'm thinking.
I mean, because I'm getting a Series X for sure. So if I'm gonna get a freebie, why not get the console that I wasn't gonna buy? It just makes sense to me.
That's kind of the logic I've been toying with. So out of the two, if I had to if it was just easily to get one, I'd still be kind of torn because the biggest thing holding me back from just for sure wanting an Xbox Series X is honestly I don't think there's going to be like a true new must-have game till like early 2022. That could be wrong, and hopefully I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. If I bought a PS5 next year, 2021, I'm going to have some games, whether they're great or end up be great or not. I feel like they're going to be there, but at the same time, PS5 is going to be harder to. I think it's going to be a little bit harder to find if you really wanted one. So I'm trying to figure out, which one. I just at this point I'm so torn. I think I would take. Just go with the PS5 just because I think there's going to be a few more games to play next year and it's going to be harder for me to find. If like I feel kind of confident that I could pick up a Series X tomorrow if I really try. And I really don't have a problem buying it based on the tech and some of the backwards compatible / upgraded games. So yeah, I guess I would choose PS5 for those reasons. But I mean, I'd easily just take a Series X too. I could flip a coin probably.
For the fridge.
Yeah, like I said, the Xbox Series X is more practical for me to get at this point, because of my backlog and systems or games from the other systems, and I can retire those consoles that I have out hooked up right now. It just makes a lot of sense for me to do that. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get it regardless. I mean, I bought a PS3 at launch, and I didn't buy one launch game for that bitch. I was just happy to be able to play PS2 games I hadn't gotten to at that point, and to be able to play my PS1 games on it.
Yeah, because
Blu-ray. So
I want to throw in
that's the
my
reason I
opinion
bought
for
it.
a second.
we'll get to you in a second. I was just gonna finish up by saying there's some current gen games that I'm thinking about picking up, like Resident Evil 3. I even thought about maybe Star Wars Fallen Jedi or whatever, Fallen Order, whatever it's called. It didn't quite get the
Jedi
price drop I
Fallen
was
Order,
looking for. And if I'm gonna get games like that, I'm gonna play them on the Series X versus the PS5 at this point. Like I just feel like that's the more smarter bet for playing games that came out in the last couple of years.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I'm a teacher. I can't help it, man. Trust.
That's why it was
So
funny.
I just there's some games from the last year and a half that if I'm going to play third party multiplats, I'd prefer them to play them on the best have them be the best they look and perform. And then also, I'd love to start Ori and the Will of the Wisps over to play that at 4K 120 frames per second. Sounds appealing. And then, Gears 5 I never did finish, so there's some stuff there. Oh, PS5, I'd play Astros for sure. Maybe pick up Sackboy, but after that, pick up Ghost of Tsushima, I guess. So it's really a coin flip.
And then.
But all right, Terrell, I know your answer, but why don't you tell everybody?
And then, I know you know my answer.
he's a Microsoft separatist. What do you expect?
Somehow I'm the closest to a pony.
Separatist would imply I ever invested into it.
The only thing more powerful than Terrell's hate for Xbox is
anti-Microsoft,
and those will be
yeah,
on
there we
PS5.
go. That's good. There you go. T, get it right. Get the title right, goddamn.
I'm a teacher. I know English.
Oh,
and just totally botched that. So
I'm more smarter than you. All right, I'm gonna stop. So, I mean, realistically, I'm a kind of dude who doesn't like to pay for things if I don't have to, but I can still benefit from it. So I mean, because here's the thing. Obviously, Xbox is the stronger of the two consoles, but I have more faith in Sony's ability to put out single player content.
You did spend a lot of time talking about how their first party games weren't all that in your last video yesterday. But
yeah.
Exposed.
But the third party games that I want to play, I will play on there. The third party exclusive stuff.
All the anime titty shit, and that's what he wants. Xbox won't be getting that shit.
No Thunder Congress.
Let's be honest though.
That's savagery.
How would Microsoft ever fix that for you? Because if they do give you first party games or one for single player games, you'll just say, well, I can get it on PC. So what could they do?
To be fair, at this point, you are correct. If this was like the 360 era, that would be a different story. But but I would say with this whole brand of Xbox push and not necessarily the game system itself and its exclusives, you're right. There's nothing really they can do at this point.
Right, there's nothing they can do for you.
You would have to have a hell of a lineup to make me even think about it, or have some shit that I know I couldn't run on my PC. Right.
But it also has to be a Steam, because I don't think you've bought anything off the Windows Store. It has to be Steam
which
PC.
Which is funny also because I'm currently testing out Game Pass on my PC anyway.
Which has a way smaller selection than
developments.
Yeah, I noticed that. I fucking noticed that.
Just try Flight Simulator just for the hell of it, though.
I am gonna try it. It's
addicting.
The only reason why I'm trying it is so apparently I upgraded my Discord, and apparently when you upgrade your Discord, you get 3 months of Game Pass for PC for free. So I said, fuck it, we might as well try it. And after my Stadia adventure, where I was pleasantly surprised by that experience,
mine was terrible.
Juice was mad. He was mad as fuck. I decided at least get myself in the ecosystem in case something in the future changed. But obviously, of course, I would take the PlayStation because Nintendo will always be my number one, but PlayStation at least has some things that I'm at least somewhat interested in. Horizon, I can't say anything to or against it because I need to play the first one. I have it. I just need to play it. Bloodborne looks like another fun experience that I need to play, and I have it. Just need to play it. Spider-Man, obviously. Regardless, I don't need to play it. I don't need to play it now, but I have no issue playing it later. God of War can eat a dick. Unless you zoom that camera out, fuck you. That's my issue with God of War. We're not gonna get into that one because just we got to that one last night and I wasn't even trying to get into it. I was mad. I was like, you made me deviate for 20 minutes on this fucking game.
He gonna make you like that shit.
I'll play Tearaway, yo.
But
Tearaway, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Sony has some IPs. As much as I don't care for the over cinematic game that Sony seems to be pushing, you do get your little diamonds in the rough every once in a while, like Gravity Rush or Tearaway. You get some games that pop in there. Xbox gets those games too. For example, Cuphead I think was really good. Ori's been fun so far since I've been playing it. The problem
You
is,
can get that shit on. Yeah,
I can get that. I bought both of those games on Switch, so I'm like,
Right.
I'm Gucci. So I'm like, that's my problem. It's not that Xbox doesn't have content that's worth buying. They just don't have content that's worth buying on their system. That's my problem.
Even still, those aren't system sellers. Like you wouldn't go out and buy an Xbox for Ori, even if it
But
was.
then, I mean, at the
like,
same
locked
time,
to
they
it.
came
No,
out.
I would.
They came out years.
I
Ori
would.
came out years later, and it's like Will o' the Wisp was the closest to launch, I think, that hit Switch from when it launched on Xbox. You know, it's the same argument with Game Pass. Like, yeah, Doom Eternal just hit there, but the game came out in March. Like, who's gonna wait?
Well,
and
the
just
problem is,
hope
yeah,
that these games
Well,
hit
I haven't
Game
gotten
Pass.
it yet.
yeah, you have to. It has to be a game. Like, if you're a real fan of certain franchises, like if you're a huge fan of, like, let's say, Assassin's Creed. If you're a huge fan of that, are you gonna buy that day one, or are you gonna wait 3 months and hope it comes out on Game Pass? If you're a fan of Assassin's Creed, you're gonna buy it day one.
Mhm.
Like,
Right, and hope, because doesn't Ubisoft have their own service? I don't know.
we don't talk about that fucking piece of shit.
That trash.
I was mad when they announced it, and I'm mad
Don't
it
you want to
exists.
collect your Uplay points? Don't you?
Ugh,
It's
trash.
like the hate
You
Clockhead
wish.
has for EA is the hate I've had for Ubisoft for many years, and this is one of those reasons. They had games I've been wanting to play like so bad and shit, and then they lock them behind that account. I'm not making 10 fucking accounts and will to play a few fucking games. I still haven't played those games.
So
I
in this, like,
refuse to fucking
this,
make
like,
that account.
doesn't T have the same kind of stance on Capcom currently still, or no? Have you changed that?
They moved me. They moved me with the recent
See, that's why I was curious on that one, because
partner
Capcom,
direct.
they kind of.
I'm loosening up on them because they actually put some effort into the Switch. So
you get a little bit.
Yeah, after 3 fucking
All right,
years.
so let's get the tally here.
It's better. It's better than the other.
it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, let's get
I
the
was mad
tally
at
here.
Ubisoft for the longest time too, but I can't.
Yeah, where's that Mass Effect trilogy on the Switch? Huh? Where's that?
That was fucking stupid. That's fucking dumb.
man.
And
Why that's
if
not
it
on there.
comes, it'll be the 360 version. It won't be the new.
Which is stupid, because we got, what was it? They gave us the third game on Wii U, even though the trilogy it came out at the same time, around the same time.
So now we'll get Mass Effect 2 only with no DLC. That's what we're
Man,
gonna
you
get
a
on the Switch.
dick,
There's nothing
bro.
EA can do at this point. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't think there's much.
So let's just wrap this up here. 6 of us. What was the score for what system people choose? Was it
PS5? I think for
Was it
all
6?
I think PS5 totally killed.
bunch of ponies? I know there's people. I know there's probably a 1 or 2 people. If they watch that, would probably be angry. But it's like everybody had different
Even
reasons.
though we have 360 stuff right there.
Look at my background, by the way.
It could have gone the other way. Sorry, it could have gone the other way. Just if Halo was there at launch and Halo looked as shit,
Yeah.
I'd be interested.
And obviously, I was really split, but I feel a little bit better about spending money on the Series X. So,
And still, at the end of the day, you can get everything Xbox puts out on your PC. We all have PCs powerful enough to play games.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense for most
One
of us
of
to be
us,
like, yeah, I'm gonna get an Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's practical. It's just practical.
And it's not like we don't have people here who are probably gonna buy it.
I'm certainly not a pony, so.
And I mean,
Like,
Terrell, I don't know about everybody else, but your PC's like that's your main gaming is where your PC sits. For me,
Yeah.
it's completely
It's
different.
more. Yeah, it's more
situation.
convenient for you.
Like I'm not, I do sit down here and I put 24 hours into Breath of the Wild on the emulator, but it's not my preferred to be sitting in this this office chair playing games.
Right.
So yeah, just to expand my background in case people didn't notice here, we got 3 generations of Xboxes sitting here, and we'll talk
I did
about.
not know you had an original Xbox. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I haven't turned it on in probably close to 10 years. I'm curious if I plugged it in.
Yeah, try to see if
why
that
did you
drive
put
still
your,
works. That was a problem with a lot of Xboxes. After a while, they stopped reading them damn discs.
Really?
Why don't you put your
It
Series X
happens a
there?
lot. Yeah.
It's upstairs, my cardboard one.
Oh, your Series X.
I wanted to see
He's
how
gonna
it,
have the real one.
I want to see how it fit in the entertainment stand. I had to move a shelf up, but
It was funny. I zoomed in on like the little cross that you done, the Xbox logo,
Oh yeah.
like wonky and stuff.
But from zoomed out, it looked lit up because the way it took,
yeah.
the camera picked it up.
Mine's going like above. I have a space for it. Mine's going above my Switch over here, but I'm worried that it might melt my GameCube cases because the heat's gonna be coming up top,
Well,
and it's gonna hit my GameCube cases. So I got to check that out.
it'll get warm, but Digital Foundry had the thermal, whatever, the little thing that uses not ultraviolet. I don't know, the thermometer thing, and the exit was like, I mean, it's like maybe 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't even know if it was that high.
I chew my kids out about that. They always leave like the Wii U case or the PS4 cases on top of the PS4. And like the PS4 just radiates, and I'll pick up like a Wii U case. It's just like all warped on the back. I'm like, yeah,
really?
It's coming out your money, motherfuckers. Get the belt. Don't make me get the hose.
All right, so God damn it. Let's try to not make this a 30-minute discussion. I guess the last revelation about with the PS5 reviews was that the controller battery life range is like 4 to 8 hours, depending on the game and the level of the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback, which it's definitely not ideal. So, what's your guys' take on that? And like I pointed out, I don't know if everybody knows this, is you can turn off the adaptive triggers in the menu of the PS4, so that they just
so what's the battery life? I'm sorry, I feel like I missed it.
It says 4 to 8. That's what The Verge said, but then Sony came out and said it's about equal to the DualShock 4, but didn't give any specifications. So it's not 100% guaranteed yet. But if that one person was correct, playing Astro's Playroom, which uses everything like constantly, microphone, gyro, haptics, and adaptive triggers, constantly, there's really no break. As one of the minor complaints I've seen people saying, it's just nonstop. If you don't like that kind of stuff, it's the whole game all the time. He said it was 4 hours, but like I said, you can turn it down, you can turn it off, and other games like Miles Morales doesn't utilize much as far as the adaptive triggers. So I think that's where the 8 hours is going to be.
Say what?
Why can't they do better?
The game to use it for the haptic feedback trigger bullshit.
Well, the haptics works, but not the adaptive triggers.
Well, it's Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man that they're saying its inclusion, makes it feel like you're actually shooting webs, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's more the haptics than the triggers. And I will say the breakdown. I don't know, it wasn't Spawncast. I watched somebody's teardown, and they did put in is almost double the battery size as the PS4. So they had to compensate for all this power draw. They did put a bigger battery in it, so it's not like they used the same small ass battery like the Switch did for the Lite. They put that small battery in because they wanted the Switch Lite to be small, and when it could have had double the battery. But it's
so basically you turn everything off, and you got yourself a double powered PS4 controller. You turn everything on, and you got a short-lived PS5 controller.
Yeah,
like we all care about like the cool stuff that the PS5, what is it called, the DualSense does, like, so that excites us. But a lot of these people are kind of fanboying, and I wonder how long that will last post launch. Like, will they still be talking about the haptics and all that in a year?
I bet your Call of Duty players will be turning that off to get as much.
Yeah, I honestly, I wonder how many people are going to turn that off. I didn't know you could turn that off.
Because honestly, I mean, I've mentioned it to you guys in the last few months. I've had some issues with my hands. Like right now, they're just, my right hand is just, I'm losing like they're sore and it's kind of swollen a a lot, and I'm losing some strength.
Playing the Switch in multiple modes.
So just like playing like Rocket League, but I'm at the point now where an hour play session is about all I can do. So I honestly don't even think I'll be able to utilize the adaptive triggers too much.
Damn,
that sucks.
Yeah,
as a gamer, it's like, take my legs, not my hands, my eyes, please.
So I'm trying to reduce the amount of gaming because it really kicked into high gear. I was doing a lot of yard work the last couple weeks, breaking sticks, burning them, breaking branches, and my hands got really sore. So I'm trying my best to like not play, but then like I'm off work for the next week, so I was like, of course, I played Rocket League for like an hour and a half. And I was like, man, I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to see if they can actually heal up. So anyway, I don't know that I'll be using the adaptive triggers a ton or at full.
Nip that in the bud now, Grandpa, before it gets worse.
I don't.
Go get it checked out.
Yeah, and we pointed out as well, you know, I think, you know, the technology that's in there, the you know, the level of, you know, feedback these things have. A lot of people have mentioned already, you know, because only the PS4 is doing it, how many developers are going to put in the effort for multi-platform games, you know, to support it to the level where you feel like it actually feels, you know, unique and, you know, into that case. And you know, it's difficult. You know, we've seen it with the Switch, HD Rumble. I've seen some great examples, but then you've just seen some, for the most part, you're just remembering just a standard Rumble effect, which by itself isn't that great on the Switch anyway. When HD Rumble's done well, it's you know, it's fantastic, but you know, very few people have done it, and that's even from Nintendo themselves. You know, it's you know, when they do it, it's great.
And I don't know if it's confirmed, but I was watching just some random guy. He was the only person I seen uploaded The Last of Us Part 2 on the PS5, and he said that the Rumble was enhanced inherently just because of the better Rumble motors, and he was feeling like the left to right stuff without a game that wasn't even designed for it. So it might enhance just standard Rumble, unlike the Switch Pro controller, which when it's, you know, really it's not that good. Even the HD is not that good.
I'm fucking dying, man.
Oh, the chat.
Stay out of the chat today.
Juice, like,
Jesus
what is it that you have with your hands? Because I know specific people in a given community. Some people, for example, they have random shit like carpal tunnel or whatever. There's specific gloves you can buy that really help you when it comes to gaming if you have serious issues with
I
your
have
hand.
to check it out.
The Nintendo Power Glove. It's bad.
No, actual fucking medical gloves.
Yeah, I have to look into
He
something.
was trying to help him.
I have to look into something. But
Gotta put some Vaseline in them, you know.
And do what?
It loosens your leg.
luckily, I don't have
That's another remedy. Chill out.
I don't have any cracked skin because we 70 degrees here with some humidity the last few days. So
Wow, really?
yeah, it's crazy.
Michigan?
But
Wow.
I guess the one thing for me, like I said to you guys, like sometimes, yeah, it sucks. You know, a 4-hour battery life if you're playing Astro's Playroom. I don't have any 4-hour play sessions in me anymore. Maybe Breath of the Wild 2, but at this point, I don't think I have a 4-hour play session in me ever again. You know, really. But for like the
I
gamepad,
did that last night.
for the
Super
gamepad, it was
Mario.
justified. You know, we got the screen and off TV play. You know, 2 to 3 hours. I don't think anyone got over 3. And then I bought the extended battery pack and got 5 to 6 hours. You know, but I wasn't mad at it because I felt it was justified. Like the Joy-Cons, 20 hours seems pretty long when you consider how tiny those batteries are. With the HD Rumble and everything, I don't know what the actual real world time is if you're like playing Ring Fit or something where it's using the gyros and all that constantly. But you know, so I feel like if the adaptive triggers are all their, you know, what they actually people are talking it up to be, and it really does change the feeling of playing a game. Like one of the examples was Astro's Playroom when you're climbing. You know, you can feel you press it a little way if it's like a crumbling ledge or something. You have to press it just a little bit, and then you can kind of feel it kind of break away. You know, it's little stuff, and maybe it won't amount to being as cool as a lot of people think, and developers won't use it. But to me, if it's really changes the way you play a game, I think I'm happy as long as it's, you know, as long as it turns out to actually improve gaming and stuff, then I'm fine with that. And the fact that you can turn it off and get better battery life, I mean, yeah, 8 hours is terrible compared to the competition. Switch Pro controller, what, 35, 40 hours, you know, so it sucks, but at the same time, as long as if it was just a standard PS4 controller and it got 4 to 8 hours, then be like, what the fuck, you know, so
So
I'll give it some
I
slack.
want to say something quickly about that because if it's actually 4 to 8 hours with functions used and stuff, it might sound sad. I think that's pretty good. My PS4 controllers, they go for like a fucking hour. I'm not even kidding. Like I have a bit more plugged in than I'm playing wireless. So as long as that fucking DualSense comes with a cable twice as long as the one these fucking came with, I'm okay with it because I'm borderline. It's basically plugged in all the time anyway.
Did you buy a new one?
It's a fucking hour. That shit is not 4 hours.
Yeah.
No
I was
way.
gonna say my PS4, especially when I was playing Horizon, I would do 3-4 hour sessions easy playing that game. 2 hours, like my freaking PS4.
I wonder.
I got two controllers, man. I just every single night I'm chewing up the kids. I'm like, you need to leave the sons of bitches plugged in.
You got to leave them plugged in. You have to.
You got to leave them plugged in. You can't.
I mean, T, you had the Slim. I don't know about Retro if you bought a new one because you got that.
No, I have the Slim still.
I got the Pro and I've run into.
But that was new, brand new, not used. You know, like that was never fucking used.
Brand new.
I'm the first user of that fucking system.
Because I've never. I mean, Last of Us Part 2 is either my third or my fourth game session when I'd need to charge it, and I play 1 to 2 hours each time. So I haven't really run into that.
I've run into a couple of times. When I was playing God of War, I ran into it a couple of times. And I used to do at least somewhere between 2, maybe 3 hour sessions on Twitch when I did it. And I think every other session I would have to charge the bitch. So
yeah, it's every other.
Yeah, it's not anything. It's disappointing, but it's not like it's gonna absolutely ruin my experience. I'm kind of like I'm like a little peeved, but at the end of the day, maybe it'll actually be better than when especially because I'm not the kind of guy to use all that extra shit anyway. So
I think
I'm hoping it'll be better.
For me, I think it's just I never minded the whole controllers dying quick or anything like that because I sit so close. But I can imagine if you're sitting further away, that could be a pain in the ass to
there's no way that
have it be constantly charging.
You got to get an extension cord and then you have to plug it into.
Because that's the Type C USB Type C.
For me, like normally when I play PS4, it's every other day. It's usually like I'm sure tomorrow I'm play some more Ghost of Tsushima. I'm sure that's gonna be fine. I'll probably have to charge it. I remember playing Resident Evil 3. It was about probably a 7-hour game for me, and I know I had to charge it during that time for sure.
Like most people can't
even when I was playing with sorry, I was gonna say even when I was playing with you the other night on Borderlands, I had 2 bars on the controller, and the time that we played, it started flashing up saying that the battery's going and stuff. So if the PS5 controller is as bad as the PS4 controller, like I said, it'll piss me off to no end. Like, everyone's gonna be different. But I'll fucking hate it. I'll absolutely fucking.
And there's no way that cord's gonna be long. By the way,
not everybody can be like you, Robert. Like, cause like most games, I want to be able to see where everything is coming from. I can't be like, oh, zombie there. Fuck.
I don't go like that. I don't go like that.
Robert,
this thing reclines. This reclines.
Playing the game like Stevie
Robert
Wonder.
has so much range that dude gives him whiplash when he turns the camera. Fuck.
I'm telling you, when you're reclined, it's fine. It's just like you get the whole world in your
I love
in
the
your view.
experience.
I
love it.
It's literally exactly.
All right, we gotta get
relax
to
and then you go in the world.
We gotta get to the main, the clickbait title here. Xbox or Series X.
The main topic.
The main
topic in an hour and a half.
The
man.
worst launch lineup in console history. I believe it. I don't know what you guys think. At least the PlayStation 5 has a few games that aren't just current gen, cross-gen games. Better or worse.
Yeah.
At least Demon's Souls, whether it's a remake or not, looks like they put a lot of effort into it. Looks great, and it's something. Astro's Playground, it's a 2-3 hour game, but it's something new. Xbox, I honestly.
Other than Nintendo Xbox side peroxide.
Oh, I'm dying, bitch.
Have we ever seen a console launch without like a new game or a next gen version of a game? Like,
great.
I just
never. I can't even.
I mean, how do you judge it? Do you judge it by a multitude of okay titles, or a single fucking killer title? You know, people would always choose out the N64
for
you know?
2 games.
I defended to the death. It only had
It's the
Mario
greatest,
64
right? The
compatibilities.
greatest freaking
but
launch title of all times.
It had fucking Mario 64. You know, so people chose the Switch. Fucking you only have fucking Bomberman and fucking Zelda and 1-2 Switch. It had fucking Zelda.
It had Zelda.
You know, how do you judge it?
Yeah.
Do you judge it by some single game that's making you go, I want that fucking console day one. Nothing's gonna stop me from getting that machine. Or do you judge it by a multitude of average next gen, previous gen crossover games with 1 or 2 average to beautiful looking games? You know, it's
Well, because even
But Breath of the
difficult.
Wild doesn't count because it was on the Wii U. And nobody had no damn Wii U. Come on, we all know this. Let's just be honest. So
I always say that the difference between just like the Wii U and the Switch version is the fact that we knew what was coming for the first year of the Switch, and the Switch was a portable. It was a goddamn portable. That also
yeah, you can take that thing with you. Like
literally, you
Yeah, they set up-
Nintendo doesn't support their old systems anyway. So as soon as I knew the Switch was out, that was it. There was no.
Well, just
there were
like
no
Robert
more
said,
games
That's a
coming
big
out.
thing.
you weren't going to wait to buy a Switch and play Breath of the Wild now, because then you're going to miss out on ARMS,
Everything
Splatoon 2,
else.
Xenoblade Chronicles
Yeah.
2, Odyssey.
Exactly.
all right.
So you
Mario
knew you were going
Rabbids.
to buy a Switch.
If
and
like
You solidly knew what was coming, especially that first year before
Yeah.
we even had a Switch. So
Mhm.
We knew
Wait
2
a
months
minute.
before.
it's a shame
Yeah.
as well, because I feel like their biggest launch title, which was Cyberpunk, got pushed back. But I
Yeah.
said
Yeah,
about
actually.
Halo earlier. If Halo turns out to be that battle royale launch game, one I had in my mind. Let's just say, fucking you're walking in on 2 giant scarabs, a team of 10 on each one, walking in, and then there's another team of 10 all coming in on warthogs and stuff. You have to meet up fucking in the middle ground, blaze each other up. It just was like some crazy ass multiplayer Halo game. Yeah, Banshees flying in, all this fucking shit, this massive fucking multiplayer game. As a launch title, fuck me, I think the
Yeah.
Xbox would have had that one killer game.
Yeah.
and the multiplayer is free, right? It's going to be free anyway
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how
Yeah.
is that not ready? Like, how do you not have that?
No.
At least have that ready.
Well, it's free
show, or
if
it
you
has
have
to be
Xbox
planned.
Live.
It's a shame they didn't have it. It's a
Right.
shame they didn't have it.
Like,
So,
that's-
Let's just try to play devil's advocate, because PS5 is. I'm not saying the PS5
It's
is
not
great.
It's not great. It's
But-
not great.
no, it's
If
not.
you're going to, if someone's gonna, an Xbox fan's gonna call out the, I don't know how they could call out the lineup of the PS5, because the cross-gen games are all multi-plat. So the Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, those are cross-gen games. When Cyberpunk comes out, it was on both systems. So really, it's just, what else you got? I think the biggest, one of the biggest things they got going for is Gears 5. Someone pointed out it's kind of like a soft reboot, a relaunch, because I mean, it does look great, this new upgraded version, and it's not like the game, because of Game Pass, it's not like it sold huge numbers.
How weird is the Gears 5 situation? Because Gears 5 legit should have been a launch title for the Series X, and it missed that.
Wait.
And then
Xbox One X.
excuse me, I'm mixing them all up. Thank you, Xbox, for your dumbass naming.
Yeah.
The One X, it should have been a launch title.
You're
for
welcome. Sorry.
Could you try again?
Uh-oh.
What the fuck was that?
Try
I
it.
said series. I said series, and Siri think I'm calling her. That's
Hi, Siri. Bitch,
and it's not going to be a launch title for the Series X. Because it came out last year. So
Series X, and Siri's gonna get you a bunch of sex on your fucking thing.
Oh, Series X, like Series X. Oh god.
So I mean, it's so weird, especially now that there's no Halo. Like, this is kind of unprecedented. I mean, it's not, again. This is a guy who's going to buy the Series X. Like, that's the system I prefer. But I can still be honest and be like, PS5 isn't much better, but it's still a little better as far as bringing you a new experience somewhere. So
It's not just the fact that, like, I agree, the PS5 is just slightly better, because it's getting at least a few things, but it's also, more things are coming that they announce, and even for Xbox, there's not that much, is coming. And I don't want to hit that stupid point and click walking around game and shit. I mean, fucking Xbox games, not some kind of, we bought 10 studios and there's this point and click indie fucking game somewhere. It's like, there's just not much coming.
Hold on, because people were jizzing all over Detroit Become Human. And that's
which one are you talking about?
definitely a point and click.
Which one were we talking about? Right?
No, Xbox this weird ass cheap point and click game, that they made seem really cool in the CGI trailer, and then it turns out it was some kind of the one where you have two things at the same time.
I'm still fucking with that game, I'm still fucking.
It's not a point and click, but it got delayed till next year.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the Xbox launch celebration global live stream.
Of course.
That shit's rough.
Interviews from developers about launch titles. So Gears Tactics.
Don't do this, guy. Don't do this.
Destiny 2, Yakuza Like a Dragon, which has only been available in Japan, apparently.
Yeah.
Grounded, which no one cares about.
It makes me feel bad because they're trying to get that Japanese audience.
What about Grounded?
I don't think anybody cares about Grounded, do they?
Grounded is trash, man. Like I played.
So these are
quite a few hours into Grounded. It's trash.
These are the games that they're going to be talking about. These launch games. Forza Horizon 4. This is my 2018 number 3 game of the year. Forza Horizon 4, which I looks awesome. Halo Master Chief Collection, Gears 5, Bright Memory, which I'm not familiar with. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Tetris Effect, Watch Dogs Legion, Blooper Team, whatever that means. Scarlet Nexus, Dirt 5, that's cross generation. Game Pass is one of the launch games. And the
I'm so sad, bro.
The Falconeer, which actually looks kind of cool. I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
That might be an Xbox exclusive.
Oh, Falconeer, yeah.
But
Falconeer is not Xbox exclusive.
I think it's console exclusive though. If I'm not
console.
Pretty sure.
Well, no, it's also on Xbox One.
Either way.
Man.
I said Xbox exclusive.
So Xbox. PC. All right, go bet. All right, we good.
There you go.
That's on PC, Series X and S, and One.
So.
Oh God.
I mean, I want there to be a bunch of awesome games,
but there's not.
Of course.
Because last generation there wasn't some amazing launch games. I mean, there was Rise, there was, so I can think of Rise for Xbox. Was there another game? Killer Instinct.
Dead Rising 3.
Was it 3 or 4?
Wasn't there a new Forza?
Dead Rising 3.
Well, Forza 5, but it wasn't ready. The high res models weren't all ready at launch. So I mean, it wasn't like they had amazing launches. PS5 had Knack, Killzone, and Resogun. But
that Resogun.
Then Infamous was like
talking that
Infamous was a few months later. So it's not like
that was March, yeah.
It's not that much different, but I feel like there was even a lot more cross-gen games too, though. Like a lot. Feels like more games.
But I wasn't overly excited about that generation either.
Me neither.
So.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was just as bad in some aspects.
Right.
So like if there's somebody who bleeds green, and trying to say I know what they're trying to say.
That line ruined.
They're gonna bring up Game Pass every fucking time. They're gonna bring up Game Pass. We talked about this before we went on air.
Game Pass is great value, Juice. You don't get it.
It is a great value, but that's not.
That's not a launch line. I'm sorry.
It's true.
That is games you can play, old games that you can play now on your new system that carry over.
You can spend $500 less and invest that into games.
That's backwards compatibility, basically, is what that is.
It's a great launch lineup, though, dude. The greatest launch lineup.
It's a rental service, and it's got some good games. I mean, every time I look at the list, I'm like, well, I bought and played that one already, so that
it's Netflix.
But
it's Netflix.
I just keep hearing that's the fallback every time it comes up. Well, it's got Game Pass. Well, it's got Game Pass. Series S, perfect for Game Pass. This one, I think it was IGN, maybe I don't remember who it was, and she was like, "It doesn't have a lot of storage." We didn't talk about the Series S. Maybe we did last week. Only has 360 gigs available.
What?
And
really?
And this person's like, "Oh, it's a perfect Game Pass machine." I'm like, "You have to download Game Pass games. Like, it's perfect for playing smaller games on Game Pass, but you still have to download the full game." it's a perfect xCloud box. I don't know that it's a perfect. It's almost worse as a Game Pass box. I don't know, because it's
That's
perfect Fortnite
that's
machine.
ridiculous.
Wait there a second,
Yeah,
because
that's true.
now Game
Machine.
Pass, all Xbox first party made games come to Game Pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
in terms of
Yeah.
this launch lineup, what brand new Xbox? There are no brand new Xbox games, are there? For
No.
There's
No,
there's
just
no
ones that
brand
came
new.
out
There's
this
no
year.
brand new. Not
Halo
one
would have
brand
been the only game if it came out.
Would have been the only game.
The
yeah.
closest thing
and
to
what were
that
you,
is
what were you
Grounded.
saying about Gears 5? It's like a
Grounded
hyped up-
came out in
Upgrade.
June.
Gears
Why you
5
keep
is
saying
like
Grounded?
someone thinks they're doing a soft relaunch because it got a full upgrade as far as
But why you
visuals.
mentioned
And
Grounded? That came out in June.
yeah, I'm saying that's the closest to a new game that
Oh,
as far as Microsoft Studios. But Gears
you can
5,
play
they
that
put a
on
lot
the
of
original
effort.
Xbox One.
They put a lot of effort. It's got some new tweaks, some new feature. So it's almost like Gears 5, like Ultimate Edition, basically. But you don't have to rebuy it if you already had the game. It just
Right.
automatic free upgrade. So it's
Yeah,
like
I mean, the Series S is a nice, like, free to play box. Like, you play a bunch of free to play stuff.
Not that free.
No, I'm talking about the free to play games. If you play a lot of free to play games, Fortnites and
Brazil.
Apex.
yeah, you play all that kind of stuff. It's a great box, especially for like kids and stuff. And then you maybe you buy Game Pass for $10 a month. That is a great value. But for a lot of gamers, it's gamers like myself, I'm not going to be, it's going to be like Netflix, where a whole month will go by and I haven't watched one thing on it, but yeah, I'm still paying for that shit.
I was
like,
gonna say,
and you
weren't you the
forget.
one who had like 2 months where you didn't play?
I had like
shit
2
and you
months
paid-
went by and I'm paying for it, and I didn't play a single game on it. So
Well, we do.
if that's your primary system, beautiful. But if you're a gamer that has multiple things to do, multiple ways to play, the value starts to go down a little bit.
I mean,
but if it's a primary system, that's great.
The closest experience I got to this, because I haven't tried Game Pass yet, is PS Plus. So when you get these new games for PS Plus, you add them to your library and you can download them whenever you want. Then once they're on your library, you can play them whatever. But what I found, whether it's just like with Steam, whether you bought bundle after bundle on Steam and stuff, is that when you're just essentially given these games, whether it's for crazy cheap or for free, I found that they do just sit there, and you end up not playing them. Now you could have people. You're gonna have, there's gonna be two sides to it. You're gonna have people who will blow through all the games and love them, etc. This is why you can't chew out the service. You can only say it individually for yourself. The service itself is great. It does offer a lot of games, but looking at these launch lineup games, there is no killer app. And for these brand new consoles, that you want something fucking sexy. You want something so hype and brand new. And this is where I feel the PS5, has that slight advantage. Yeah, Demon's Souls is a remake, but it's one hell of a fucking remake. And you got Miles Morales. Yeah, it's come to the PS4, but it's still at least a newish game in the Spider-Man game universe coming there to the PS5, and it looks fantastic. It has these few extra games to justify, at least for some people, that launch purchase. Whereas the Xbox, to get you excited, there's really not much there.
And I don't want to discount at all the value of Game Pass. It is a untouchable discount. I mean, it's an untouchable value, especially when Bethesda's games start dropping on that thing. You already have EA.
Yep.
Like it is a untouchable value. I don't think anybody will be able to touch it. But the thing is, we're talking about the Series X, right? We're talking about what justifies you buying one. I can currently get Game Pass on everything. There's 3 consoles or 2 consoles, 3 consoles and a PC that I can get Game Pass on. So if you're looking at it from that perspective of getting a Series X, then that value is not that big of a deal because I can already get that. Like I don't need to buy
the problem with
Series
the
X
One
for
X
that
as well. If you got
right,
your
and the One X,
the games are looking great, So
they look really good on the One X still. So we're talking about specifically going out and justifying a Series X.
Yeah, for Game
For me,
Pass.
I've already justified my purchase. Like I've talked about why I'm getting one. But for a lot of people, there's like I can get Game Pass right now. So why would I need to get a
And I
Series
mean,
X
I
to
don't.
enjoy
Yeah,
Game Pass?
there's nothing coming out that you can't buy on on the previous console you currently own. If you own an Xbox One or an Xbox One X, there's nothing coming out right now.
Yeah, I already have Game Pass on my Xbox One.
If we look at it
Like-
slightly differently, just to throw something else there, how about right now, mentally that we treat these consoles like we treated the mid-gen PS4, like the PS4 Pro and the Series X, where you're upgrading to make your current library better.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if you buy it for that reason? Is that a justifiable reason to get
I feel like
that's why I'm buying it.
I feel like that's the reason why you would buy it now.
It has to be because people bought the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X for that reason.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a One X, so for me, it makes sense.
It's a way
I don't
bigger
have
jump.
I didn't get that upgrade.
And see, I bought a Pro, so like I'm already in
I'm
that.
glad I waited.
Yeah, that's the other
refresh.
reason why I'm leaning. Well, I'm so torn because I have the Pro, which means the jump to a PS5 for my PS4 games isn't going to be that significant. But at the same time, I can sell my PS4 Pro for probably $240. I'm going to try $260, see if I can get $240, $250 for it used. I can put that towards the purchase of the PS5, whereas my Xbox, the Series S, I plan on just keeping in my theater room for a streaming box. Even still, I don't think I could get more than $150 for it.
Yeah.
You can't. I looked it up already. I was thinking about
It's a strange
selling
place,
mine.
it's a strange place to be because mentally now you're having to go into this new console generation like you've never gone into a new console generation before. Say, but I'm buying this new console, this brand new console right now, just to play my current games better.
Yeah.
For the most part, and we've never been in that mentality with any new console before. There's always been exciting new launch games or something exciting to say. Okay, yeah, we're going into CDs for the first time. We're going to 3D for the first time. We're going to HD for the first time. We're going to these open worlds for the first time. We've reached this point now where games have been looking so great for so long. At least on
what do they call it? The rule of the law of diminishing returns.
Yeah, diminishing returns.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're essentially going into now is okay. We've got these two consoles. They're launching. The launch lineup. Some games are okay. Might be worth a jump on, but it's nothing mind blowing here. But let's treat these systems like we've just treated our PS4 Pros and our Xbox, One X's, and upgrade to the better hardware until something else comes along. And that seems to be a good enough sell for many people.
Yeah, and the difference between this gen and last gen is instead of having Assassin's Creed 4 Xbox 360 version and Xbox One version, at least a lot of these Xbox games from third parties and Microsoft, you buy it doesn't even say Xbox One on the Assassin's Creed Valhalla box. It just says Xbox, and then on the actual cover art it'll say like not Series X, the Smart Delivery. So that's a difference there.
I like that. Actually,
you could buy it for like T if you were in, or one of us wanted to try Assassin's Creed Valhalla but can't get a Series X, you buy it, you play, and then when you get the Series X, you just put that same disc in and you get the Series X version, like that's a cool thing. The quick resume's cool. And that's the one thing about Sony too, like there's no consistency with that stuff. Ghost of Tsushima and Days Gone got a PS5 specific patch for loading times and 60 frames per second at the resolution mode. So you're getting a consistent frame rate for games that were either 30 or had some issues. But then you got Spider-Man and you just play it backwards compatible. It plays just like the PS4 Pro version, or if you want to spend $70, you get the remaster version. Like there's too much inconsistency there, and I can see why people are maybe calling that out, because it's worth noting that because I have no idea, is The Last of Us Part 2 going to get a PS5 upgrade, or are they going to try to sell a $70 remastered version? Like I have no idea at this point, because they haven't.
They better not do that shit.
No one's. One person posted a video, but it's just plays in backwards compatible mode. It does.
They might do it because they haven't hit I don't think they hit the numbers they wanted to hit on.
But
I
they can
why.
they can just they can put it in a PS5 box for anybody who didn't buy it. Buys a PS5. Now you buy Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, it's in a box that says PS5. But for the people who bought the PS4 version, you get a PS5. You should. I mean, the sales already happened. I just wish that was.
That
there was
should
some
be the way
standard.
it is.
That should be how it happened.
Well,
Especially
I think
coming out this
it's,
year.
it's already been shown. I mean, Microsoft at the end of the day, done industry leading stuff in terms of backwards compatibility and stuff. And we're already seeing, some developers don't want to do it. They don't like it. They leave a block.
They want that money.
They'll do it with Control. EA will do it with Mass Effect. Sony will do it with Spider-Man somehow. And there's always going to be devs who will not want you getting free upgrades for stuff.
And speaking of Control, they had to delay the next gen version until sometime next year. So it's not even going to be out for the launch of these systems.
It's ridiculous, man.
Jesus.
You think they delayed it just to maybe get their shit straight, and they're like working on that more so than the game itself?
It just pisses me off that they're worried about the people who buy a digital console and had the physical version missing out. It's like those people know what they're doing.
Instead of people who supported your game to begin with.
If they choose to buy a PS5 digital version, they already throw away the backwards compatibility. So why should we worry about them not getting a free upgrade? It's just so stupid.
They want that money, man. It's about the money.
Either way, it's just a weird, like T said, it's not exciting. I've never been excited honestly for a Sony or Xbox launch. I mean, I was always I was a big Nintendo fanboy up until
I was too, but it's like I get excited about new hardware coming into the market like that. There's some excitement. Like, does that mean I'm gonna go out and buy the system? No, that didn't happen with PS5 or PS4 and Xbox One. I waited. But I still like the the excitement, if you will, around new hardware and new games for that hardware. But we don't really have that this time at all.
Yeah, I think
it's even worse than last time. This time,
it's diminished over the years with Microsoft and Sony for sure. But at the end of the day, console launches are still exciting stuff, and this could have been an exciting console launch if we had some exciting games. We've seen graphics. Yeah,
I mean, and then how much? Oh my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say how much of that is just 2020. Like, like I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think part of
it too. It could be part of it, right? So I don't want to be unfair.
Imagine Nintendo trying to launch a console right now. I based off their current fucking efforts, I think they explode.
Well, but
I think a lot of people would be super excited for a Switch Pro coming out this fall.
But here's my thing: do you really? That's why I kept leaning back into the thought process. Do we really need these consoles right now?
Yeah,
you couldn't wait until next year.
They could have waited till next year.
Yeah,
the Xbox I feel like needed something.
I think
March. What Nintendo did with the Switch, where the last few years of the Wii U was kind of jank, so that they could prepare an insane lineup. The Switch was there, was done. Well, I mean, it's done because it's still the exact same Switch right now, so it was done, and the games were there, and it was a solid lineup over the next year at least, like an insane lineup, and still beyond that and stuff. So they should have just fucking waited. But the thing is, Nintendo, they kind of stand apart, Sony and Xbox is like, shit, they're fucking launching the system. We're not done. Let's quickly launch it too. And then the other people go like, fuck, they're launching it. Let's not tell them their prices. Shit, do we even have any games now? Because we just assume people were going to buy it and shit. Now everybody, it's just such a clusterfuck.
I agree, but I think the only console manufacturer that really was justified in putting out a new console this year was Xbox. And the problem was, we still haven't got a new Xbox
damn game.
So it was like, well, you should have just fucking waited, you piece of shit.
Well, I mean,
Sony still had a lot of momentum, and then on top of that, Ghost of Tsushima was received relatively well. Last of Us is about half and half, depending on who you talk to, but still, they at least had new games come out this year. What was the last Xbox game we got?
Yeah, I was just gonna get into that. Especially with the way you've been fumbling your game launches, Crackdown. What was the Dragon game? With
Scalebound.
Platinum, Scalebound. You botched all that stuff. Like you botched, like I said, you botched. To me, you botched Gears of War 5. That should have been a launch title.
I would
for
agree.
The Xbox One X, or you push that bitch back.
Well,
and made it a
Crackdown was
launch
supposed to be a
title
launch
for
title
the
too
Series X.
for the One X.
So
Just saying.
yeah, it should have been.
Crackdown 3 got delayed too.
Crackdown 3 got delayed.
So they launched 2 consoles in a row now
4 years.
without
you,
a game.
You should have this shit together by now. It doesn't make sense.
Was that
at this point for you to-
2018?
2018, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
so
you
they
to-
launched
For you to
that.
still be
Crackdown-
botching your launch at this
Crackdown
point.
3 was
After
actually
The fact, here's my thing. When I found out that we weren't even gonna get at least a Forza game at launch, I'm like,
That
what the
surprised
fuck?
me.
I'm like,
That
what the fuck
surprised
are
me.
you doing? Like that's like the easiest game.
can't get a
guys
Forza
always
game
throw
out.
That's
you
crazy.
can't.
And then when they showed it,
How
said
do you have a Forza game?
it was early in development. They specifically said early in development when they showed it earlier this
How?
year. It's like
You put those bitches out
How?
every year. How do you not have
How?
a Forza game?
That's the,
Yeah, right.
that's
is so.
insane to
Oh,
me.
that's madness.
How do you-
mean,
It's crazy.
how
but
do you not
anybody
get a
that,
Forza game?
anybody that picks up a Series X didn't have an Xbox. I mean, you're in for some racing fun if you get Forza Horizon 4. That's a excellent
yeah.
game.
That's
I know.
one of the
I think
greatest.
people would have liked the new one. You know.
I mean,
Yeah,
seriously,
I
but
think they're hoping
it would be
America
new to you.
8.
if I didn't have
That's
a
Right.
Well played.
Exactly.
if I didn't have a Series X, and let's say next year holiday you get Forza Horizon 5, I would make sure to have a Series X for that when that game comes out. Like that's the type of game that this is missing, and not like we said, not all generations. There's not always that game anyway, but
Right.
it was just, it seems more apparent. And like Terrell was saying, Microsoft, their sales have been stagnant for like 2 years, even with the One X. Seemed like it took them over 2 years to go from 40 million to now they're saying it's close to 50 overall for the Xbox One. And they couldn't go another year. Forget planning for COVID-19, but in their minds, I don't blame them for saying, well, we can't go another year. But the fact they don't have any
Yeah, that's
games
fine.
ready,
Like I
that's
said,
just-
they were justified in having a new console out.
it's-
Mhm.
How did you not have any games for it?
I don't.
That's
After all these
astounding to
acquisitions,
me.
you got nothing. You got nothing.
That's crazy.
Your new system
bro.
launch, like that's.
well,
that is
You
kind
know
of.
what? I don't even think Nintendo took this long with the Wii U to realize, yeah, maybe we should probably get that new console out. Like, Jesus,
What was it?
fucking
Two and a
Christ.
half years, right after Bayonetta 2 launched, and the sales didn't move. They were like, all right,
And Smash.
we got to move on.
Yeah, that was
Imagine-
that was the
imagine-
end of 2014. The end of 2014.
Yeah.
Imagine how funny would it be if the next Nintendo lineup we see is fucking New Horizons Deluxe, Final Three Houses Deluxe,
Yeah.
or not even. Wait, that's the I forgot. Duh, it's
We
not
wouldn't
even Deluxe,
tolerate
it's
that.
just the straight up. It's just the straight up version. So imagine would it just be literally Animal Crossing New Horizons, Final Three Houses, Astral Chain, all these
Mario
games.
Kart
Dude,
8
look at our
DX
lineup;
Plus.
it's insane.
I hope that
We
happens.
certainly
Like,
wouldn't
what?
tolerate that and sit around and be like, "Oh, that's okay." We would not damage control.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
really, there's a part of me
Why
that
do it
hopes
for
that,
Xbox?
Ridiculous.
I kind of hope that happens for all the Switch fans who've been dismissing, the Wii U owners for complaining about that. How they'll react when Switch 2 launches and they're just getting ports of Switch games. I know I don't think it's going to happen, but there's a part of me that would love to see it.
I
Just,
hope not.
I will say this. At least, even then, I would say they would still have a better lineup than the Xbox One X has going. Because think about what is the standout title from the Xbox's generation this year? Like this
Yeah.
generation, what is the Xbox One's like?
Rise,
Man,
son of Rome, son.
Man, get the fuck
Dude,
out.
honestly, it's crazy. I was thinking that I was like, maybe you know what? Maybe the launch lineup isn't. Well, maybe the lineup of the Xbox One really wasn't that good. Because I'm thinking they're still great. And then I started thinking like, damn, I guess they didn't really have many games this generation.
It wasn't
People-
pretty crazy.
that good. It wasn't good at all. It was pretty
No, it was
mediocre.
pretty
People forget that
mediocre.
Halo
Nope,
5
nope,
came
nope.
out this gen. It fucking blew me away. I was like, what? I forgot that game was out.
that was
They came out.
Yeah, Halo
after the
5.
360, after the 360, which I
whimper that
loved.
was.
I loved the 360. If the Xbox One, if they fucked it with their marketing, everything, whatever. But
Everything.
If the game, I would have an Xbox One. I was ready to get Microsoft next machine, but no.
I think we got to stop
pretty
like
much.
saying like what Xbox exclusive, and just look at the Microsoft Studios games. They obviously weren't exclusive, but they put out a couple.
There's a few standouts on that. I'll give you that.
And then some of them, like later on, like Ori's are on the Switch now, but still, it's a Microsoft Studios game, launched first on Xbox.
It's not like it was, but my problem is like what I can't think of a heavy hitting.
But that's what I'm saying. If all those games were genuinely exclusive, they were only on Xbox. I mean, talk about so sparse. Like it literally only started getting some decent games in the last 2 years.
Quantum Break. You'd have.
I actually thought that Will of the Wisp was gonna be that exclusive launch.
Yeah,
thing,
but
and then it just came in fucking everywhere.
But considering that game it felt like that game got delayed, and we kept not seeing it for a while, and it was like, when is this shit coming out? And like when I think about Xboxes, the most consistent franchise they had, I think, was Forza. I can't like.
Yeah, they had Forza Horizon 3 and 4, both good games.
I think Forza was the most consistent IP they had because
Gears 4, Gears 5.
Like I don't like they couldn't hit up Playtonic, give them a team, and build some excitement around a new Banjo for Xbox Series X.
I can't believe
or
they haven't.
Perfect Dark. Like that would have been the easiest way to build hype for the Series X. Is to put out those rare classes that everybody wants back. Like that would have been like if you had a Banjo or a Perfect Dark at launch. Like that would have been.
My main issue is that you have certain franchises that had a game this gen that was bad, but they went like, for example, State of Decay 3. I forgot that had even gotten announced, and I was like, "Did you see the last game? No, like, are you really excited for a sequel to that? Like, I don't know about that.
Who was like, ooh, State of Decay? Nobody.
Let's say did you just say fuck the other game? You think I'm excited for the new one? And then Halo, it's in that same. Halo gets a little bit more of a pass, primarily because it's fucking Halo.
Crackdown 4's coming, guys. Like, who gives like nobody?
I think Sea of Thieves is one of their better like successes as far as it seems to be. People are liking it a lot more now.
The launch was pretty bad. The launch,
which ironically enough, you didn't announce a sequel to that though for some fucking reason.
Yeah,
and then
I
mean, even if all the games they showed, let's say all those games they showed like Avowed and Fable, even if those were all out by like 2022, which I don't think will be the case, but just a final note on Game Pass. Like once those games, if those games could start coming out like 3-4 really good games a year, then I could see, Game Pass being a lot more appealing because you're getting new Microsoft Studios games. But like 6-7 games, if it takes 2 years for those start to come out and you're paying for Game Pass this whole time, like I don't know, man. Unless you just love play.
I don't want to knock Game Pass.
I know, but it's
Game Pass would be fine. But here's the thing.
But Game Pass is not exclusive to the Series.
And I'm talking about right now.
That's true. But one of the things about Game Pass when they first announced it, they had this big thing about how new Xbox titles, new first party Xbox titles would be coming on Game Pass. Yeah, day and date. And then I was
exciting.
Oh, that's not bad. And then I realized, what fucking games do you have coming out that I really care about? It's not a good proposition when your selection in the upcoming games from your studios ain't shit.
Or they're like
2.5 years, Game Pass is gonna be killing everything.
That's what I was getting towards. Like right now versus what it will be once these companies, studios they bought start putting out games. Then that's a good deal because in a year you spend $120 on Game Pass and you get Fable, you get Hellblade 2, you get Avowed and Elder Scrolls 6, in 1 year, and get to play all those for $120 instead of it'd be
the cost of 2 games.
It'll be $70 a game now, so you're talking $280. Like that would be something if you don't want to own these games. If you just want to play them and you don't care about owning them.
Right.
But still,
the next
you gotta wait for them.
Is gonna be out before you're gonna get fucking Fable.
Yeah, see that's my only concern is like now I have to trust Xbox for the next year or two to hope that these games come out in a quick or in reliable fashion. When the generation previously showed me you couldn't do that because fucking Ori got delayed. It felt like multiple times. Crackdown got delayed multiple fucking times, and we saw that came out. I don't, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I want to.
It's like
What
every
have you been
time
doing all this
Crackdown-
time? What the fuck? have you
Yeah,
been doing all
I
this
think this
time?
is like one of the most offensive
weird.
generations from a single manufacturer I've seen in a while.
every single time Crackdown got delayed, it looked worse. That's not how a delay fucking
Oh,
works
man.
normally. The whole thing that for me, where I
Crackdown
think
was shown like the first
next
year, I
gen
thought.
Xbox thing is so offensive.
it's like
is that
2013.
it's like you said, they didn't have all these games previously. You know, like there's barely anything like that was properly released. From the few games you even got, it's like this launch, in my eyes, should have been like, look, like you said, you can trust us again. Have confidence in what we're going to offer you. But they're not showing you what that confidence is. They're showing you a few games, and they show you like, okay, here's a CGI trailer for a racing game release every single year. Here's like Halo,
But
a
it's
big
not coming
trailer
out yet.
that,
What?
that looks like a fucking dump. And then here's like Fable that we already canceled 5 times before that you might see in like 5 years. There's nothing that inspires confidence to me. Which
Yeah.
Like
I think that's the core of it.
Because Microsoft was very close to selling Xbox to fucking Amazon or somebody. Like, it were really close. And they took Phil Spencer to convince them, like, no, this is our direction. So I understand it took years to get this shit together, but we still waiting years, you know?
Well, then you got 343.
What you got, man?
If you listen,
What you got?
If you listen to the reports from former employees, like 343 Studios is just a fucking disaster, and that's one of those things. I got bought out the company I work for by a big corporation. We were a family-owned business. We had 120 employees, but it was a pretty well-run business. We get bought out by this huge corporation, and now it's just chaos. All these dumb decisions, all these new managers get thrown in between the main guy and the the first level boss, and all these dumb decisions get made. So one of the negatives could be, you get bought by Microsoft. You get this more money and stuff, but you got all these other people now involved in decision making, and it's like, for all intents and purposes, it seemed like people enjoyed Halo 4. I don't know personally. I never played it.
I like Halo 4 a lot.
It felt like a game that had no reason to kind of come and go the way it did. That was like the biggest problem with it.
But then they lost the.
They should have saved it for the launch of Xbox One. Is what they should have.
They lost
at this point
some people, and then you hear that they just half the people working on Halo 5 are just, what do you call them? Where they hire them temporarily for like outsourced contract like work.
Workers.
And then there's just the workflow is just terrible as far as like testing and it's like takes 2 weeks to see if what you did gets tested out and stuff, and it just sounds like it's terribly managed. So I have no faith really that next time we see Halo Infinite, I think I said Halo 5, but I meant Halo Infinite, next time we see it, that it will look better. I honestly don't expect that at this point, and I
don't either.
And it makes me wonder, they buy Ninja Theory. I liked Hellblade, but it's not a game for everybody. It's a little bit slower, a lot of walking. It was a lower budget game in the grand scheme of things, but they made some other games that people liked, and but then they come out.
How is that game not ready?
They get bought, and they put out Bleeding Edge, and it's like, it feels like they're. Same with Grounded. Grounded feels like, based on what I look in the trailer.
Bleeding ass, you mean?
Yeah, Bleeding ass. Looks like Grounded wants to try to capture that Fortnite audience, and it looks like Bleeding Edge is trying to jump on the Overwatch type
thing.
And neither of those games made got any kind of traction as far as streamers, as far as people who like look at Among Us. I mean, people are still playing that game, streaming and stuff. You just, for whatever reason, and you said Grounded sucked. I haven't played it. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Bleeding Edge, I haven't heard one person who said they played that game. And it's like, so those are two studios you bought, and then the next games they put out were forgettable, borderline trash from what some people say.
And I was looking forward to Grounded. It was not like I'm hating on it. I was looking forward to that game. It's pretty whack. It's not what I thought it was going to be.
And, I have hopes for Hellblade 2, but they're fucking still scouting locations for Hellblade 2 for scanning for the environments. Like, that game is so far away from being done. It's just, And so anyway,
What are you doing with all this?
I'm
time?
sure there's somebody watching this, hearing this Xbox hate. He's probably pretty red in the face right now, from listening to us.
Oh,
if you know
man.
what I mean.
Oh, damn. Damn. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Jesus Christ.
But it's true. I mean, I'm gonna buy a Series
Ain't got nothing
X.
to do with that.
I'm gonna buy a damn Series X. I can call.
Don't get mad at me.
I can call it out. I can spade a spade. As someone might say, grab the biggest knife in the drawer. Got to cut the bullshit.
Come on.
What is all these damn references?
He only says that about 20 times a podcast.
Yeah,
But I mean, it is what it is. I call it Nintendo.
2 in the morning. Can we go now?
Yeah. All right. We better get out of here, Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's late
4 o'clock that is.
We definitely had less viewers this time. I don't know if the title scared a bunch of people away. Sorry. I thought it was a fun discussion.
Really?
Thought
We
it
got
That
was,
was a
like
great
30
fucking
something.
podcast, man. It was so much
At
fun.
one point.
yeah,
we were like over 30.
We got up
Good
to
talks,
40s and
good talks.
stuff. But before this, I saw 26.
Oh, okay.
Either way, thanks for those who did tune in. And I thought it was a fun discussion and probably more fun than the actual launch days will be for people to get these systems. But if you get one and you enjoy it, I mean, props to you. If there's games you're looking forward to, I mean, I don't want to rain on anybody else's excitement, but I'm just telling you how I feel. We're telling you how we feel. So, but yeah, we'll be back next week, and maybe we'll have some hands-on impressions from some people, maybe not, but you'll have to tune in next week to find out. So we'll see you then.
Peace.